You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
The history, the tradition, the fun of Kernels baseball.
It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
Good Friday morning, everyone. The Kernels are about to take on the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers in Game 2 of this 4-game series, and the Kernels, behind Nick Adenhardt's sterling effort last evening, 7 innings of 4-hit, 2-run baseball, came away with a 6-2 victory over Wisconsin, and that win upped the Kernel record on this current 8-game homestand to an impressive 4-1. On this Friday morning, the 5th of May, with a big crowd expected for the noon start, Colonel skipper Bobby Magallanes, as he does so graciously every Friday, ready to field questions that you've emailed to him through me at john@kernels.com. And Bobby, first up, a question from Meg in Coggin, Iowa. Meg would like to know if pitchers ever play long catch or long toss, and she defines that as from the edge of the warning track in left center, heaving a baseball all the way to a partner that stands on the right field foul line. She wonders if pitchers ever do that to try to strengthen their arms, play long toss.
Yeah, they play long toss. They have a program that they follow. Our pitching coach gives them a program, Karen Ronan, of what they want them to do. Obviously, the guy really monitored how much throwing they do as well, because they throw so much that they really need that recovery period of not throwing as well. But we recommend long tossing. Definitely strengthens your arm up, and to be honest with you, it's something that a lot of pitchers don't do nowadays. A lot of them don't do it anymore, and we recommend it because it does strengthen their arm.
Bobby, would it be something in a year-round program that might be prescribed for our young pitchers in the Angel organization to even do, say, in December, January, February, or would Meg come to the ballpark and maybe see it done during the season as well?
Oh, yeah, it's during the season. The off-season, the pitchers have their conditioning programs and what they do in the off-season. Obviously, they have to keep throwing in the off-season. But the long tossing part of it does apply in the long season, in the off-season as well, to strengthen their arms up.
Thanks a lot, Meg. I agree with Bobby. I don't see it as often as I used to, but it's good to know that it is part of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim training for pitchers. Bobby, next up, a question from Vinton, Iowa, from Cecil. If you could imagine this along with our listeners, this scenario, Cecil would like to know if a runner leading away from second base can read the signal being flashed by the catcher to his pitcher, and then can that runner tip off his teammate who's at the plate as to what pitch is coming?
Oh, yeah, well, obviously the runner at second base, it's wide open to see the catcher signs. And, some players don't like to know what's coming. To be honest with you, the majority of the hitters, they say, hey, just don't tell me what's coming, because I start thinking too much and they just want to react. But that's since the beginning of baseball till now. There's runners that do flash signs to the hitters. Again, it all depends on the hitter if he wants the sign or not. But obviously, you got to be real careful with that and not tip it off, because then you probably get thrown at after that.
Well, that's exactly what my follow-up was going to be. Well, 2 follow-ups, Bobby. Because the runner leading away at second can have that good look right at the catcher's sign as he signals to his pitcher, do the catchers pretty often change signals to try to prevent that?
Oh, yeah. There's so many different sets of signs at second base. You never know what sets they're going to be using. And if, a lot of times when you see a catcher call timeout with the runner at second, a lot of times it's just to go tell the pitcher, hey, I think they got our signs. They switch the signs and the sequences. So, but yeah, when there's a runner at second base, it's wide open to see the catcher signs, and it is easy to relay the signs.
And if a guy is caught, the runner, if the other team suspects he's flashing signs and they're correct, you take matters into your own hands. Now, would the pitcher brush back or send a message to the batter, or would he wait until that guy who was leading off at second comes to the plate and give him a pretty direct message? Don't do that.
It depends on what they do. I'm a big believer is that you do it to the person who's relaying the signs. But a lot of times, if they feel he's relaying the signs, let's say the catcher calls for a slider away, and that guy, he gives the signs away, the pitcher will come up and in on him and say, okay, you keep giving it to him, I'm going to go up and in on him. So that's when they'll stop. Hey, don't give me the signs anymore.
That's a pretty direct message.
Yeah, it is.
That they've caught on to your scheme. Well, Bobby, we're going to take a break on this beautiful Friday morning, Cinco de Mayo, and we'll have a final question for you here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show here on the Kernel Radio Network after this word from South Slope Communications.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners. We make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communications.
Tuna Communications Triple Play. Voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Bobby Magallanes, Colonel Skipper, as he does every Friday, is taking questions that you've emailed to him through me at john@kernels.com. And, Bobby, our final question on this Friday morning comes from Sheila of Iowa City, and I'd like to preface it by saying, Bobby, I don't have much time to follow the big leagues during our season because we're so committed and involved in following this team, and you may be the same way, so do the best you can with this one. Sheila would like to know what effect former Braves pitching coach Leo Mazzoni's departure to Baltimore has had on Atlanta's ball club. And again, we understand you probably haven't been able to watch too many Atlanta Brave games, but Leo Mazzoni, I would guess, might be missed.
Most definitely. He's known as one of the better pitching coaches in baseball. And obviously the run that they had there in Atlanta with all those pitchers that they had, I mean, just for phenomenal pitchers and frontline pitchers. And I think you do give credit to a pitching coach. But, now with the new pitching coach there, probably, I don't know if it's a different philosophy or what it is. I really don't know. But I think his presence is missed, especially he was there for a long time, and he's a good pitching coach. And then it's no coincidence he goes to Baltimore, and they're doing pretty well right now. So obviously that's just a tribute to his qualities as a pitching coach.
It sure is, Bobby, and I'll take an example as a Cardinal fan. Some people aren't really enamored with Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan in St. Louis. It's a tough baseball town, and they expect a lot. But overall, their record can't be questioned as a tandem. I would think Tony La Russa would feel totally lost without Dave Duncan by his side.
I said this when I first started managing 2 years ago, that, if I ever get to the big leagues as a manager, the first coach I'm going to really get is going to be the best pitching coach that's out there. I mean, to me, that's so important, is the pitching and how to run and how to prepare those guys. And I tell you what, I mean, a pitching coach to me is like the manager's right-hand man. And, I know they have bench coaches nowadays, but that pitching coach is right there. He's almost like a second manager in a way.
He is. He's critical. You have to rely on him not only for game situations, Bobby, but you said it, all the things that are prepared, who's ready, who's not ready, who expects to be in the game. A lot of that has to take place way before the game.
Well, Kernan, Ronan, and myself, he tells me before the game starts, okay, Bobby will come in my office, okay, these are the guys who are available today, this is going to be a long guy, this is going to be a short guy, okay, he prepares them for me, how I want to use them, and also he sees these guys day in and day out in the bullpen sessions before the game, in the drill work, in the side work, and he knows these pitchers in and out, that the pitching coach will come and tell the manager, hey, he's a little bit up right now, he doesn't have his best stuff, something that the manager might not see.
No, he might not have time or might not be right.
he might not be focused on that. The manager's got so many things to think about in a game that the pitching coach say, hey, he's a little flat right here. I think this might be his last inning. And I'm telling you what, more times than not, that pitching coach is right. All of a sudden, the manager goes, no, I think it's okay. He sends it back down. He scored 3 runs in about 5 pitches. So it's too late now. I should have had someone ready before, but that's the pitching coach who knows that. And it's so important. And, again, when answering the question, I think it has a little bit of an impact there.
Well, thanks, Sheila from Iowa City. And, Bobby, thank you. You talk about a busy day. You're here early in the morning, and you've got a ball club to get ready, and yet you take time to answer these questions. Our fans truly appreciate it, Bobby. As always, we want to send you away with a certificate to Zio Giano's Spaghetti House. Perfect pasta, homemade bread, pasta that makes the Colonel Clubhouse sing. Colonel Skipper Bobby Magianis, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, John. Thank you.
That's it. Your questions fielded by the Colonel Manager, as he does every Friday here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, the Ask the Manager Show. Up next, Game 2. Wonderful day for a ball game. Kernels and Timber Rattlers. I'll have the starting lineups in a minute. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners. We make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communications.
Turner Communications Triple Play. Voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
We wish you a very pleasant Cinco de Mayo, Friday morning from Veterans Memorial Stadium, a noon start, Game 2. The Kernels taking on the Seattle Mariner minor leaguers, the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. We're here in the zone this morning, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG. I'm John Rogers, and down below the Kernels in their white home uniforms and the Timber Rattlers in their gray roads with maroon hats and black socks. They're on down the left field line. The two clubs are starting to get loose for today's action. The sun is trying desperately to break through above the stadium as we hope to have a temperature in the low 60s this afternoon. Right now it's a little bit on the chilly side, 54 degrees, as the Kernels up their first half record to a game above 500, 14-13 after last night's 6-2 series opening win. That Colonel victory was sparked by Mark Trumbo, who had 3 hits, including a home run in the first inning. Warner Madrigal bashed his first extra base hit of the year, and he had a couple of hits and scored twice. Flint Whipke is now 10 for his last 20 on this homestand. That offense, coupled with Nick Adenhart's 7 strong innings, upping his record to 4-0, helped lead the Kernels to the win. The Kernels have whipped the Timber Rattlers 4 times in 4 games this spring, 3 up in Appleton before Easter, and then last night's triumph. Let's set the starting lineups first for the visiting Wisconsin Ball Club. They've won 12 and lost 15. They're in a tie for 4th in the 8-team Western Division first half standings, 3 games below 500. They're tied with the swing of the Quad Cities. The manager of this ball club, Wisconsin, is 32 years old, Jim Horner. Horner is from Twin Falls, Idaho, and he spent 9 seasons as a catcher in Seattle's minor league system. He went to Washington State University. This ball club is much better on the road than it is at home. At home this year, Wisconsin 5-10. On the road, they're 7-5. Leading off is the designated hitter for the Timber Rattlers, Jeffrey Dominguez. He's 6th in the league with a .333 average. Luis Valbuena will bat second. Valbuena's at second base, a left-handed hitter. Hitting third from Nicaragua, Ron Garth, and Garth will be at third base. The cleanup man for Wisconsin is their center fielder, Mike Saunders. Hitting fifth at first base, Brian Sabatella. Casey Craig, who had 2 of the Timber Rattlers' 5 hits last night, will be in left field. Craig will bat 6th. Hitting seventh, he had his defensive problems in right field last night. He's in right field again this afternoon. Jairo Hernandez. Chao Kwan Wu from Taiwan is catching. Chao Kwan Wu will hit eighth. And the Timber Rattlers shortstop out of the University of Texas, he's a kid that plays with a lot of spunk, kind of like the Cardinals' David Eckstein. Robbie Hudson. Robbie Hudson, the shortstop, will bat ninth. On the hill, a high draft pick by the Mariners back in 2003 out of high school. He's now 21 years old, 6'5", 195. Paul Fagan, F-A-G-A-N. Paul is 1-2 on the year. He's making his sixth start. He has a complete game, an ERA of 5.63. Fagan was a 2-0 loser his last start. That was Saturday up in Appleton against the Whitecaps of West Michigan. He pitched well, though. Fagan in 5 innings allowed West Michigan only 2 runs, 8 hits in 5 innings. He fanned 4 and walked none. The Kernels beat Paul Fagan back in Appleton on April 13th, 7-2. Paul Fagan, a southpaw from Jacksonville, Florida, a Seattle 4th-round pick in 2003, on the hill today for Wisconsin. Allen Motor Company, as always, is proud to set the Kernels starting lineup. Allen's invites you to visit their beautiful campus, I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. You'll be very pleased with the way you're welcomed and treated there by Barry Gibson and his spectacular sales staff. Allen's also has a virtual showroom at www.allenmotor.com. Leading off for the Kernels in center field, Brad Kuhn. Heinle Stacia will hit second and play shortstop. The switch hitter drove in a run and scored a run in last night's Kernel win. Flint Whipke's hitting .500 on this homestand, 10 for 20. Whipke catching and batting third. The Kernel cleanup batters in left field, Jordan Renz. It's the first time Renz has been given clearance to play the field since the first week of the season. He's been suffering from a bad right shoulder. Hitting fifth, he clubbed his 3rd home run of the year last night to give the Kernels the lead at first base, 19-year-old Mark Trumbo. The Kernel designated hitter in the Allen Motor Company order, batting 6th, Travis Schlichting. Travis hasn't played since Sunday afternoon. Hitting 7th is Dallas Morris. Dallas is at 3rd base. Patrolling right field in the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, hitting 8th. He had a home run last night that went across 8th Avenue over the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Warner Madrigal in right, bats 8th. And hitting 9th, the second baseman, Marco Albano. Albano will bat 9th. Kelly Shear is on the hill. He's 1-2. The left-hander has a 3.51 earned run average. Kelly was a 4-2 winner in miserable conditions that greeted us upon our arrival from our road trip in Michigan. We opened this homestand last Saturday evening against South Bend. Kelly Shear, the 21-year-old Kernel lefty, was a 4-2 winner. He went 6 innings against the Silverhawks, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits in 6 innings, struck out 5, walked 2. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members are out on the diamond, and we're going to introduce our national anthem singer. He's a Kernel front office member. Ken Franz will sing the Star-Spangled Banner. Let's hear from Wendy's, and then Ken Franz, a member of the Kernel front office, will sing the national anthem.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Warner America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. It is being performed today by Ken Franz.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
crowd is juiced. That was Ken Franz of the Kernel front office singing the national anthem. It's Game 6 of a Kernel 8-game homestand. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members are dashing off the field, and we are set to bring you baseball. The umpires are sponsored by Anderson & Brown Eye Care. Anderson & Brown Eye Care's spectacular new location is on Boyson Road in Hiawatha. They have evening and Saturday hours for your convenience. Anderson & Brown Eye Care is a comprehensive full eye care center. That means you can have your eyes examined and then pick out your glasses or contact lenses and on the very same visit. Things are coming into focus at Anderson & Brown Eye Care. Easy in, easy out on Boyson Road in Hiawatha. Our Hansher play ball kid has just bellowed out the most magical words in baseball, play ball! And that's what Kelly Shear and his mates are set to do against the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Wisconsin, a 12-15 record. The Kernels have hung 4 losses on them in the 4 meetings between our 2 ball clubs thus far this spring. Kelly Shear pitched against this Timber Rattler ball club on April 13th. In fact, it's the same pitching matchup he has today with fellow lefty Paul Fagan. A no decision for Kelly Shear up in Appleton on April 13th. He pitched 4 innings, surrendered 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 5, walked 4. Jeffrey Dominguez will be first for the Timber Rattlers. 54 degrees is our game time temperature. Dominguez, the top hitter in the Wisconsin order, is batting .333. He's a switch hitter, batting right against lefty Kelly Shear. Dominguez, no homers, 7 RBIs this season, and he was 0 for 4. The game's first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. The morning is just turned into afternoon here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Kelly works quickly, and the next delivery's low. It's 2-0 to Jeffrey Dominguez, the designated hitter. Mariner 9th-round pick 2 years ago out of Puerto Rico. 19 years old. There's a fastball in for a strike called to Dominguez. Dallas Morris is playing well off the line at third. Just about even with the bag. The 2-1 is upstairs, ball 3. Jeffrey Dominguez is ahead now, 3-1. He has a a straightaway stance. He's a slender build, and he rolls one to short. It's charged by Stacia. Heinle throws on the run, and he gets his man. Boy, oh boy, Heinle Stacia had to come in, and he didn't field that ball until it was at the edge of the grass where it meets the skin portion of the infield, and then Stacia had to pedal his legs quickly towards home plate as he had enough on his throw to nip Jeffrey Dominguez, and Kelly Shear comes back from a 3-1 count against the switch hitter. One away, here's Luis Valbuena, left-handed batter, ball 1 upstairs. Valbuena, 0 for 4 last night. He struck out 3 times. A bunt up the third baseline. There should be no play. In fact, Shear collides with Dallas Morris. Kelly looks to be all right. Kelly Shear came in, so did Dallas Morris. Up the third baseline is where Luis Valbuena placed his bunt down beautifully for a 1-out bunt single. Even had Dallas Morris been able to field it cleanly with his bare hand, he would have had to put it right in his pocket. But he and Kelly Shear collided about 20 feet up the third baseline. Kelly tumbled down but got right back up. Neither Morris nor Shear came up with that ball, so it's a bunt single for Luis Valbuena. Now a strike in at the knees to Ron Garth, a .270 hitter with 2 homers, 16 RBIs. Garth drove in Wisconsin's second run of the game on a ground out last night in the 5th inning. The sun is desperately trying to break through the clouds. The wind is blowing substantially from left to right. Kelly Shear, a throw to first, and Valbuena's back safely. We've just begun here in the zone. AM 1600, KCRG Cedar Rapids. A base hit into right, and let's see if Valbuena will try for third. He will not. It's a one-hop single in front of Madrigal. Ron Garth swatted it the other way and sends Valbuena into scoring position. So a one-out scoring opportunity for the visitors. They have runners at first and second, one away for their left-handed hitting cleanup batter, 19-year-old Mike Saunders. Mike is lean and slender, 6'4", 205, and he had a hit, one of 5 that Wisconsin had last night in the Kernels 6-2 win. Saunders, an open stance, and Kelly misses with a big curveball, ball 1. Flint Whipke's catching this afternoon after playing left field last night. Flint's really hot with the bat, 10 for 20 on this homestand. Valbuena at second, Garth at first, and the 1-0 from Kelly is lifted foul into the top of the backstop to the left of home plate. Great to see folks on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion this afternoon and on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. They're from Fiserv on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion and from Encompass on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. Kelly Shear whirls and throws to second, and he plunks Luis Valbuena in the left arm, and I think Valbuena's hurt. Oh, brother, Kelly Shear's throw hit Luis Valbuena either in the left tricep or the left elbow. He's walking out towards center field. The throw either hit him or he jammed his left shoulder into shortstop Heinle Stacia. Kelly Shear didn't mean to hurt the runner, but he may have. So we have a pause in the action here in the top of the first inning. Kelly Shear takes a few steps off the hill to confer with third baseman Dallas Morris. And we'll see if Valbuena can stay in this ball game. The Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion wraps around the left field foul pole. 4 tiers of wood deck and wooden picnic tables. And to the right of the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion is the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Saunders on a 1-1 count fists the pitch foul into the screen. It's 1-2 now to Mike Saunders. Wisconsin is threatening here in the opening frame. They have runners at first and second with 1 out. The tall Colonel lefty comes set and delivers. Breaking pitch, and Saunders held up in time on that curve, blowing outside to even the count 2-2. All the action in the big leagues is tonight. We'll have a preview of the State Farm we'll have a preview of it on the State Farm Major League scoreboard on the Colonel Curtin call. Here's a high pop foul lofted towards the grass slope seating berm, parallel to the left field line, and it's just beyond the reach of Dallas Morris. Dallas hustled into the Timber Rattler bullpen, but it was 2 rows up into the red premier seats. Grandstand roof here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, 20 rows of red seats. 400 feet to dead center. High above that center field wall is a dark green net 20 feet high. Ball 3 downstairs to Mike Saunders as Kelly Shear runs the count full. Saunders is batting .261. Hasn't hit a home run yet this year, but has 11 runs driven in. Mike Saunders on the payoff pitch. It's over but low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded here in the Wisconsin first inning. Well, Kelly Shear got Jeffrey Dominguez on a 3-1 pitch. Luis Valbuena bunted his way on. Ron Garth singled into right. And Mike Saunders, after being in the hole 1-2, the Colonel lefty let him off the hook and walked him. So the bases are loaded for right-handed hitting Brian Sabatella. Sabatella from Quinnipiac University shoots one to short, caught by Stacia, underhands to the second baseman Albano, double play! Oh, a big double play turned by the Kernels to end the Wisconsin threat here in the first inning. Brian Sabatella hit a soft liner to Stacia's left. Heinle reached up and gloved it like he was stopping traffic, and then his momentum carried him behind the bag. Heinle thought about stepping on second. Instead, he shoveled it a short distance to Marco Albano to complete a double play. A line out to short, and then shortstop to second baseman to double off Ron Garth. Poor base running by Garth. Kelly Shear escapes without harm in the top of the first inning. No runs for the Timber Rattlers. 2 hits, a walk. There were no Kernel errors, a double play, and Wisconsin leaves 2. And after 1/2 inning, Timber Rattlers nothing. Kernels coming to bat. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
The Wisconsin tall lefty delivers a fastball for a strike to Kuhn. Now Brad lifts one into right field, and a few steps in to make the play, Jairo Hernandez. Brad Kuhn on an 0-1 count flies out to right for the first out here in the Kernel first inning. Kelly Shear loaded the bases, but then got a line-out double play to end a scoring threat by the Timber Rattlers in the top half of this first inning. 1 gone. Paul Fagan is a 6'5", 195-pound lefty, broad shoulders. He wears a long-sleeved black shirt underneath his gray road top and delivers inside, ball 1 inside. To the Kernel switch-hitting shortstop, Heinle Stacia. Heinle has opened his stance up a little bit and now takes a strike on the outside corner. Stacia batting a solid .280. No homers, 7 runs driven in. He fakes a bunt, and a fastball, letter high, is in for strike 2 called. Stacia 1 for 4 for the Kernels last night. Heinle drove in an unearned run, and he scored an unearned run in the Kernel 7-2 victory. Look out, there's a pitch sliced foul right over the head of the on-deck hitter, Flint Whipke. 1-2, the count remains to Stacia. A light breeze is blowing in from left center towards the first base Kernel dugout here in the bottom of the first inning. Fastball rides underneath the armpits of Stacia. 2-2 now the count. Ron Garth at third for Wisconsin. The shortstop is Robbie Hudson. He's from the University of Texas. Luis Valbuena at second, and Brian Sabatella at first. Swing and a miss. That fastball high and outside, and Heinle went fishing for it and didn't catch it. So strikeout number 1 for Paul Fagan. 2 gone here in the Kernel first inning, no score. Wisconsin's pitching staff is ranked 9th in the 14-team Midwest League, an ERA as a team of 3.88. The Kernel pitching staff, 3rd lowest ERA in the league, 2.79. The red-hot Flint Whipke looks at strike 1 called from this tall lefty. Out of Jacksonville, Florida, Paul Fagan. He comes straight over the top with a tailing fastball, and Whipke fouls it straight back. Strike 2 to Flint. Flint has gone 2 for 4 in the first 5 games of this homestand. He's 10 for his last 20. He's lifted his average to a season-high .309. Whipke, a right-handed hitter, calls time and steps out. Wisconsin wears maroon caps with black bills. Flint fouls a pitch straight back towards TV9's John Campbell. John has a tripod that his camera's resting on. He'll have a report on this game, I'm sure, on the 5 and 6 o'clock news this evening. The outfield plays Whipkey to hit the other way. A curve, and it just missed inside. Casey Craig is in left. The Timber Rattlers center fielder, who shifted around into right center, is Mike Saunders. And Jairo Hernandez is in right. The catcher's Chow Kwan Woo. Ball 2, high and outside. Nobody on, 2 away here in the Kernel first inning. The Kernels have had good success against southpaws this year. The Kernels are batting .265 against lefties. Swing on a late swing and a miss by Flint Whipkey, and the Kernels go in order in the bottom half of the first with Station Whipkey striking out. 1-2-3-0 across in the Kernel first, and after one on this cool but delightful Friday afternoon, Timber Rattlers and Kernels, no score. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
It's time for the Kernel's Curtain Call. Now with a game...
Whoops, I'm not sure how that made its way into our... Oh, I understand now. We've got the right folks queued up now. I'm sorry about that. That should not have happened. We'll keep it right here. And we'll bring you now, after one inning, no score. You're listening to Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan, take Giuseppe Valentina? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for il Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
More of what you're looking for. Just yourself.
Casey Craig opens up the Wisconsin second and lifts a high can of corn to straightaway center, where Brad Kuhn takes a few steps in to bring it down. First pitch swinging, Casey Craig, a left-handed batter who was 2 for 4 last night for Wisconsin. He flies to center. One pitch, one out here in the top of the second inning. Jairo Hernandez, a tall right-handed hitter, takes strike one from the Kernel southpaw. Kelly Shear. Kelly's pitched 25 2/3 innings this spring, allowed 28 hits in 25 2/3, struck out 23 batters in those 25 2/3 innings, and walked 14. A 3.51 ERA, ball one, a fastball low to Hernandez. Now a pitch flicks off the mid of Flint Whipkey and goes to the screen. It was high and outside, and that's ball two. We'll have some exciting news from Peck's Flower and Garden Shop for you in this, between this next half inning and the Kernel second. It's not too early to start thinking of Mother's Day. Ball three now to Hernandez. Jairo's only hitting 118, so let's hope Kelly can throw him a strike. He does, and a swing and a miss by Jairo Hernandez. He spells his first name Jairo. Jairo's from the Dominican Republic, 20 years old. He was 0 for 3 last night. Kelly Shear with a full windup. The 3-2 is a broken bat roller to second. Marco Albano gobbles it up and throws out the batter. Meanwhile, the business end of the bat winds up near third baseman Dallas Morris. Jairo Hernandez has rolled out to second, 2 away here in the Wisconsin second inning. The Timber Rattlers had a great chance to score in the first. They loaded the bases with only 1 out, but Brian Sabatella lined into a double play to end the inning. Strike 1 is in to Chow Kwan Woo. Woo is from Taiwan. Didn't play last night, left-handed hitting catcher, and there's ball 1 low. In 9 games, Chow Kwan Woo is hitting .212. The 1-1 is fouled into the screen, and that's strike 2. Well, Kelly Shear had a tough time in the first inning, had to throw a lot of pitches, but so far here in the second, he's been throwing strikes, and he's been ahead of all 3 hitters. A little looper to short, off the batter's fist. Heinle Stacia trots in a few steps to put it away. Chow Kwan Woo, the catcher, has popped to short, and an easy short 1-2-3 inning for Colonel lefty Kelly Shear. And after an inning and a half, it's the Kernels and Wisconsin scoreless. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
With spring comes a sound we're all familiar with, lawnmowers. The Solid Waste and Recycling Department encourages you to mulch your grass this year, though, instead of bag. It's a practice known as grass cycling. Why grass cycling? Well, it saves time, because you don't have to rake or bag your grass clippings. But it also saves money, because those clippings contain essential nutrients, reducing your need for expensive fertilizers. Best of all, grass cycling helps to save landfill space. Do your part. Grass cycle. This message from the Solid Waste and Recycling Department.
Luvita Hill will be helping us this spring and summer, and Luvita has some important announcements from Peck's Flower and Garden Shop.
Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center reminds you that Mother's Day is Sunday, May 14th. Your mom will be delighted when she receives flowers and plants from Peck's. Peck's is your professional FTD and Teleflora florist and can deliver your Mother's Day gift of flowers and plants almost anywhere. Choose from one of Peck's many thoughtful flesh flower bouquets and growing plant arrangements. Peck's will create the perfect floral gift for your mom and deliver it for you if you wish. Order early, now while you're thinking about it. And it's easy. Just call Peck's at 393-5565. Stop in. Peck's is open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. weeknights and until 5 p.m. on weekends. Or visit Peck's Florist website at www.pecksflorist.com. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, delivering Mother's Day smiles since 1956. Peck's at the corner of Blairsbury and Edgewood Road, Northeast.
Fantastic, Luvita. You stay right there for a moment. And hard to believe that Mother's Day is coming up in 10 days. Wow. And Peck's has that important reminder. Luvita, you were down on the field. The wind was blowing harder a few minutes ago from left to right. Most of the folks here look like they're comfortable in jackets and sweatshirts.
Yes, they are. It's nice. I have on my sweatshirt right now, and I'm comfortable.
Well, that's great. How was the dugout? Was it a little bit chilly in the dugout?
Actually, I think it might have been a little warmer in the dugout, less wind.
A little protection. Luvita will be telling us as we go along about the series finale in a little bit on Sunday. Ball 1 to Jordan Renz, and a high drive way back in left, and at the wall it's going to be caught. Jordan just hit it off the end of the bat, and he flies out to the left fielder, Casey Craig. Jordan Renz had everybody on the edge of their seat with that high clout to left field, but it was caught by Casey Craig in front of the warning track for the first out here in the second inning. No score. Luvita is wrapping up her year at the University of Iowa, and it's a very busy time for those kids because finals are upon you. Luvita, how many do you have to study for?
I still have 1.5 finals left. I've taken 3 this past week.
Wow.
And I have 1 next week and the second half of my foreign language final next week.
Boy, what foreign language are you taking?
American Sign Language.
Oh, that counts as a foreign. That's great to learn. Mark Trumbo's ahead 2-0 after his big night last night. And a fastball, letter high from Paul Fagan evens the count makes it 2-1 to Mark Trumbo. No score. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Trumbo, a slightly open stance. A fastball is a strike on the inside corner at the knees. Mark's average is up to 211 after his 3-hit performance last night. He homered in the second, an RBI single in the Kernel 2-run fourth. gave the Kernels a 4-0 lead, and they won it 6-2. There's ball 3 upstairs, and a full count now to Mark Trumbo. He was Bob Brooks' guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play show last night. Brooks at bat, and Bob and I were both very impressed with Mark's maturity. A high fly ball to left. Casey Craig saunters in a few steps and one-hands it for the second out of the inning. Renz and Trumbo have both flown out to left, 2 away here in the Colonel's second. And Travis Schlichting, playing for the first time since Sunday, will bat. Travis is the DH. He's been hampered this spring by a tender right bicep. And he's been given a few days off. Good to see him back in the lineup. Open stance, right-handed batter, and a changeup is a beauty, a strike at the knees, as Paul Fagan tries to retire his 6th Kernel in a row. 2 gone, bases empty, bottom of the second, no score. A breaking pitch stays high to Schlichting. Travis has a unique stance, a pronounced open stance, meaning the toe of his front foot is practically behind the heel of his back foot. Look out! He whistles one into the seats, and a fella woken up by that one. Man, oh man. Now he takes another sip of his soda pop. The 1-2. Hits Travis. Travis Schlichting is the first Kernel base runner. It was a fastball high and tight, and Travis was hit in the upper shoulder. 1 on, 2 out for Dallas Morris. Well, this 8-game homestand, Levita, concludes Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. It's one of our Sunday family fun days.
Yes, John. If you bring your family to Veterans Memorial Stadium on Sunday, this Sunday, when the Kernels play here, you'll enjoy a Sunday full of family fun. Popcorn is just $1, and you can get autographs from the Kernel players when you go on the field. If you get here early, about 1:20, gates open at 1 o'clock. From 1:20 to 1:40, players will be signing autographs on the field. And also, the kids can run the bases and play catch on the field after the game, compliments of velocity.
Boy, that is a lot to offer a family on a Sunday. A strike call to Dallas Morris. Dallas hit the ball hard a couple of times last night, but went 0 for 3, right-handed hitter. And he knuckles one foul into the Kernel bullpen in front of the Plaza Bleacher section, and it's 0-2 to Dallas. Levita, it is important that folks, if they want to be a part of the autograph session with the Kernels on the field, they need to come early on Sunday.
Yes, they do. Gates open at 1 o'clock. So if you can get here at 1, that'd be great.
Because that's right, the Kernels will be in front of their home first base dugout from 1:20 until 1:40 to sign autographs right on the field. The 0-2 to Morris, a curveball, look out. That one almost picked off the Kernel hitting coach coaching at first in his quilted lined red jacket with gray sleeves, Eric Owens. Eric dodged out of the way just in time. Kernel skipper Bobby Magianis is also draped in a quilted line red jacket with gray sleeves. Schlichting at first, 2 gone, bottom of the second, no score. A throw to first, and Fagan almost heaved that one over Brian Sabatella's head. Levita, that sun wants to come out, but it just hasn't broken through yet.
I could tell it was peeking through when I was out on the concourse.
It really wants to shine. Dallas nubs one in front of the plate. The catcher pounces on it and throws in time to get Dallas Morris. The Taiwanese catcher discarded his mask and fielded that little tap about 5 feet in front of the plate and then threw out Dallas Morris. The play went 2-3. In the second inning, no runs for the Kernels, no hits, a 2-out hit batsman. There were no Wisconsin errors. The Kernels strand 1. And Levita, one more reminder after the game on Sunday, Velocity Sports Performance allows families and kids again to do what?
To run the bases.
And play catch, that's right. After 2, Kernels and Wisconsin, no score. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Diet Pepsi is taking you to the movies. All kinds of movies, like horror films.
Hey, there's a guy with a hockey mask outside. Let's go see what he wants. Okay.
Sci-fi films.
Gentlemen, we're in luck. Those aliens speak American.
Kung Fu movies.
Your English voiceover looks terrible. Taste my nunchucks.
teen flicks.
I am so ugly. Well, you'd be hot if you ditched your glasses and your nerdy side ponytail. Oh my gosh, I am hot.
Foreign films.
Le French fries, the French toast.
Le baguette, le poulet.
Le croissant.
Crime films.
So, did you find anything?
Only this computer disk labeled totally incriminating evidence.
Well, keep looking.
Introducing the Diet Pepsi box office promotion. Find a code in specially marked Diet Pepsi packages. Collect and enter codes at DietPepsiBoxOffice.com to redeem for a movie ticket, even to action movies.
Well, the bad guy's dead. I'll just turn my back.
I can't believe you fell for that.
Light, crisp, refreshing Diet Pepsi.
Subject to official rules, void where prohibited. In 63006. Multiple purchases required. See website for redemption details.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
Kelly Shear is even on the count with the number 9 hitter Robbie Hudson. Remember, later this afternoon we'll have our Springhouse trivia question. Chance for you to earn a $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse. Robbie Hudson fouls the 1-1 pitch straight back. TV9's John Campbell ducked out of the way, even though that screen was in front of him. And we'll also be telling you for the first time a little bit about the upcoming Kernel golf outing. Levita Hill is going to get the details on that for us and share them with us a little bit later this afternoon. Robbie Hudson's a right-handed hitter. He didn't play last night, and he breaks his bat and loops the pitch foul beyond first into the Kernel right field bullpen. Hudson hitting 324. Boy, it's tough to keep a guy with that kind of average out of the lineup. Robbie Hudson, in 19 games, batting .324 out of the University of Texas. He broke his bat. Robbie's not a very big fellow. They list him at 6 feet even, 170. Lives in Redlands, California, and the Mariners signed him as a non-drafted free agent. Right-handed batter, straightaway stance as he opens up the third. And ball 2 dips low and away from Kelly Shear to Robbie Hudson. The Timber Rattlers have struggled against Kernel pitching this season, hitting just .217. Ball 3 just low, over but low to Robbie Hudson. No score. We're in the top of the third inning. The 3-2 from Kelly. And it's fouled over the backstop. That one rammed into one of the windows of the suites. It's great to see a mixture today of kids, school kids, and business folk. I wonder if Peggy Whitworth is here this afternoon, the executive director of Bruce Moore. Ball 4, high and away. Robbie Hudson walks. So Kelly Shear has put the go-ahead run aboard. He was ahead of Robbie, 1-2, but then walked him. That's the second free pass surrendered by Kelly Shear, the Kernel lefty. PRC, the former Access Direct here in Cedar Rapids, is proud to support the communities where their employees live and work. And that's why this season PRC will be bringing food home, number foul up the third base side, strike one on Jeffrey Dominguez. That's why PRC will be bringing food home to our community every time the Kernels belt a home run. It's PRC's Community Care Home Runs for the Hungry campaign, and it will help reduce hunger in our community through a $25 donation to the Haycap Food Reservoir from PRC for every Kernel home run. Dominguez rolled out to short his first time up, but throw to first, and Robbie Hudson is back standing up. Thus far, the Kernels have walloped 11 home runs, and that means PRC has donated $275 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. There goes the runner. They made a throw to first. Mark Trumbo drops the throw, and a steal of second by Robbie Hudson. Now, they may charge Mark Trumbo with an error, or they may rule it a stolen base. And I think Al Grewell said a stolen base. No error has been charged to Mark Trumbo. He dropped the throw from Kelly Shear, but they rule it a straight steal. Here's a bunt, and Trumbo will underhand it to Kelly Shear. Not in time. A bunt single for Jeffrey Dominguez. And that means the Timber Rattlers have runners at first and third with nobody out. The second bunt single of the afternoon for Wisconsin, as Jeffrey Dominguez pushed that one between the mound and first. It was gloved by Mark Trumbo. He underhanded to Kelly Shear, who was beaten to first base by Dominguez. And you never want to be beaten to first base. It's 90 feet from first base, or from home plate to first, and a much shorter distance from the mound to first base. And Jeffrey Dominguez raced Kelly Shear and beat Kelly to the base. In fact, Kelly had to catch the toss from Trumbo with his bare hand, and now Wisconsin has runners at the corners with nobody out. Kelly Shear fires high, ball one to left-handed batting. Luis Valbuena bunted his way on in the first inning. First and third, nobody out for the Timber Rattlers. A fastball low and outside. It's 2-0 now to Luis Valbuena. No score. We're in the top half of the third inning. Hudson at third, Dominguez at first, a throw to first, and Jeffrey just got back head first. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization yesterday. We told you the great news last night about the Angel win in Detroit that featured contributions by former Kernels Mike Napoli. He homered in his first big league at bat. Tommy Murphy in his big league debut was 2 for 4. A bouncer to second. Albano throws to short. Out. Throw to first. Out. Double play. Tommy Cruz, the coach for the Timber Rattlers, argues the out at first, but Robbie Hudson scores to make it 1-0 Timber Rattlers. Marco Albano started a 4-6-3 double play. Luis Valbuena bounced it to the Colonel second baseman. Albano pivoted, fed Heinle Stacia at second for the force out of Jeffrey Dominguez, and then a very close play on Stacia's throw back to first, and it was ruled a double play. Albano to Stacia to Trumbo. There is no RBI for Luis Valbuena, but he put the ball in play, and even though he hit into a double play, he did help the Timber Rattlers score first this afternoon. The man who walked Robbie Hudson scored on the double play. Now Ron Garth, who singled into right, fouls an 0-1 pitch straight back, and Garth is in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Casey Kochman homered for the Angels yesterday. There's a pitch to the screen, and it's ball 1 to the number 3 hitter. And Howie Kendrick played in Detroit yesterday. Former Colonel All-Star second baseman, a squibber to first. Mark Trumbo has an easy go of it. Gloves it, takes 2 big steps to his left, steps on the base to end the inning. Ron Garth has rolled out to first. A leadoff walk and a stolen base cost Kelly Shear a run here in the third inning. 1 run for Wisconsin on 1 hit, a bunt single, a walk, a stolen base. No Colonel errors. The Colonels turned a double play, and nobody left by the Timber Rattlers. After 2.5 now on this Friday afternoon, Wisconsin has an early lead over the Colonels, 1-0. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel Team Physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Kernels' parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. Warner Madrigal has had two of the Colonel 9 hits in last night's 6-2 win. He'll lead off here in the home half of the third. The Suns still trying to break through with the Timber Rattlers ahead 1-0. Paul Fagan is yet to allow a hit. He fires high and outside, ball 1 to Warner. Madrigal hitting .241. Got his first extra base hit of the season last night with a tape measure home run over 8th Avenue into a woman's yard across the street. Ball 2 upstairs to Warner. Madrigal also singled and scored, so he was a big part of the Colonel offense in the win last night. The tall lefty's 2-0 is a strike on the inside corner at the knees. Wisconsin scored a run thanks to a leadoff walk and stolen base from Robbie Hudson, their shortstop. A changeup, and Warner pulls it foul off the railing of the Wisconsin third base dugout. Great to see a big crowd here this afternoon. It's not as warm as we were hoping. We were hoping it'd be in the low 60s, but the sun has had a tough time exerting its power and breaking through the clouds. The 2-2 to Madrigal. High, ball 3, a fastball. Warner's in his third season with the Kernels, only played in 26 games in 2004 due to an early season hand injury. Then in 111 games last year, he belted 15 homers. Payoff pitch is fouled to the top of the backstop. It's a full count now to Warner Madrigal, or the count remains full. Madrigal, Albano, and then the top of the Colonel order, Brad Kuhn here in the bottom of the third. A curve just missed outside. Paul Fagan can't believe it. He wanted the call, didn't get it from the plate umpire, and the plate umpire is hearing it from Tommy Cruz, the batting coach for the Timber Rattlers. Tommy Cruz is giving the plate umpire an earful from the Timber Rattler third base dugout. It looked like it could have been a called strike 3, a backdoor breaking pitch that Madrigal took for ball 4. Will Marco Albano try to lay a bunt down? Marco in 5 games is hitting .211. Nothing for 3 last night. He's a right-handed batter with no home runs, 2 RBIs. Marco Albano was taken by the Angels in the 33rd round of last year's draft. He's from Boston College. Albano hit .190 in 34 games with Orem in the Pioneer League. There goes Madrigal, a swing and a miss to throw to second, and Warner slides in feet first, but he's a goner as the second baseman, Luis Valbuena, tags Warner Madrigal. So a caught stealing, it was a hit and run, and the caught stealing goes catcher Wu to second baseman Valbuena. Marco Albano missed on a pitch down and in. A hit and run was on, and Warner was thrown out trying to steal second. So the tying run is now erased off the base paths. Albano, a high chopper to the shortstop. Robbie Hudson bobbled it for a moment, but then pegs to first in plenty of time to get Marco Albano. Marco has bounced out to short. A promising start to this Colonel third inning, but now the bases are empty with 2 away. Brad Kuhn, the batter. Brad flew out to right to open up the Colonel first inning. A curve, and Brad drags a bunt foul up the first baseline. Same ball will remain in play as Brian Sabatella picks it up. This lefty, Paul Fagan, in 24 innings hurled this year, has allowed 31 hits. Fagan has fanned 15 in 24 frames, walked 17, and an ERA of 5.63. The Kernels roughed him up pretty well up in Appleton back on April 13th, beating him 7-2. A curve is a dandy, and it's strike 2 to the Kernel left-handed hitting leadoff batter. Brad Kuhn, he's not wearing batting gloves. Uses a two-tone color bat, a white ash handle, and a black barrel. Fastball, swing and a miss. Brad Kuhn down on strikes, and the Kernels get a leadoff walk from Madrigal, but the inning fizzled after Warner was caught trying to steal second. No runs in the third for the Kernels, no hits, a walk. A man thrown out trying to steal second, and nobody left for the Kernels. We've played 3 innings quickly here this afternoon, and the Kernels trail Wisconsin 1-0. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppies on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
As we open up the 4th inning, we have a special date we want to remind you of later this month. It's never too early to think of being outside and playing golf. And Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, we have our annual golf outing set, the date and the details.
Well, the Kernels Foundation presents Golf with the Kernels Wednesday, May 24th at noon. Golfers have the opportunity to play golf with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, $75 per golfer and $240 per foursome.
And we'll talk a little bit about the course or where it is and how people can sign up. The first pitch to the left-handed hitting Mike Saunders for Wisconsin is jackhammered foul into the bleacher section down the right field line. Saunders walked in the first inning. 1-0 Wisconsin here in the top of the 4th. Lefty against lefty matchup, and Kelly misses a late strike by the plate umpire, and Mike Saunders is in the hole, 0-2. He's a tall, trim, lean left-handed batter who went to Tallahassee Community College down in Florida by way of Victoria, British Columbia. Will Kelly come right after him? No, a changeup in the dirt for ball 1.
Well, golfers can play golf at Wildcat Golf Course in Sheldsburg, Iowa. If you have any questions, you can call the Kernels at 319-363-3887 and ask for Jessica.
Yes, sir. Ask for Jessica. She's coordinating the annual golf outing at Wildcat Golf Course, and I think Luvita getting a chance to play with the Kernel players and coaches is something that a lot of folks would really cherish.
I think so. I'd love to participate in that. It sounds exciting.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jessica corralled me before the game today and said to make sure to check your schedule, because if you're scheduled to help me, you're going to be helping her that day with the golf outing. A looper into shallow center. Brad Kuhn has a beat on it and rushes in a few steps, then puts the brakes on and makes the catch. Mike Saunders has flown out to straightaway center. 1 out here in the 4th inning. And Luvita, that date again for the Kernel golf outing.
Wednesday, May 24th at noon.
Boy, that's coming up quickly, so make plans now. And as Luvita said, call Jessica, 363-3887. I hope it's a little sunnier on the 24th and maybe 10 to 15 degrees warmer. Strike one is into Brian Sabatella, who lined into a bases-loaded double play to end the Wisconsin first. 1-0 Timber Rattlers, and there's a pitch high. 1-1 to Sabatella. Outfield plays Brian. Deep. There's a smash into center. Brad Coon on the run, makes the catch. Oh, Brian Sabatella hit it right on the nose, but lines out to center. 2 away here in the Timber Rattler 4th inning. Well, Luvita, is the stress of finals kind of surfacing at the University of Iowa, or most kids have it under control?
You can tell it's finals week. You can definitely tell it's finals week. People are at the library even more. I've never seen it so filled.
I've heard that about Iowa, that that's when the library gets full, is this time of spring near the end of the term. Casey Craig has punched a pitch foul into the Timber Rattler left field bullpen. Strike one. Craig, first pitch swinging, flew out to center to lead off the 2nd inning. 1-0 Wisconsin, a deep drive to right. Warner Madrigal is right there for it, though. Casey Craig lines out to right, and a 3-up, 3-down inning, 3 fly ball outs off the bats of Timber Rattlers, and a 1-2-3 inning, his second of the afternoon for Colonel lefty Kelly Shear. This ball game is whisking right along as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Wisconsin owns a 1-0 lead over the Kernels. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Reading stimulates a child's imagination, increases their mastery of subject matter, improves their spelling and vocabulary, and opens up new worlds of discovery. That's why Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels are teaming up to encourage elementary students throughout the community to read. Kernels players will visit 38 elementary schools this spring to talk with students about the benefits of reading. Girls and boys will then be rewarded with nifty prizes for achieving reading milestones. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels, proud to stand behind our community's youth through reading.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
The Kernels will try to get something going here in the bottom of the 4th inning against lefty Paul Fagan, who has relinquished a walk and hit a batter so far in 3 innings. Heinle Stacia, Flint Whipke, Jordan Renz, the numbers 2, 3, and 4 men in the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup this afternoon are set to face the tall lefty Paul Fagan with his 1-2 record. Heinle bashes one into deep left. On the run, Casey Craig. He can't get it. It's over his head. On the warning track at the 378 mark, Craig hits the cutoff man, Robbie Hudson, the shortstop, as Heinle Stacia pulls into second with a leadoff stand-up double here in the bottom of the 4th, the first Colonel hit of the day, and the Kernels have the tying run at second with nobody out. Casey Craig cut back towards the left center field wall, but it was hit too well by Heinle. Stacia now has his team-high 9th double of the year. And the batter is Flint Whipke. He tried to go the other way and hit the ball on the ground to the right side, but tipped it foul into the mid of the catcher. Strike one to Flint. Well, Bobby Magallanes choosing not to bunt with his hottest hitter. Flint Whipke struck out to end the first. Fagan misses low and in for ball one. Tying run at second. Nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, now the Wisconsin lefty wants a new baseball. Flint Whipke is 10 for 21 on this homestand, batting .309. Right-handed batter, wide shoulder width stance, straightaway stance. Points his elbow high back up towards our press box. And a terrific Uncle Charlie is a strike called to Flint, 1-2. 1-0 Wisconsin, bottom of the fourth. Kernels have the tying run. Hindley Stacia at second with nobody out. Flint fouls one into the net, right above the head of Jordan Renz, the on-deck hitter. Wisconsin scored the game's only run in the top of the third inning when Robbie Hudson walked. The Kernels looked to have him picked off, but Robbie stole second. A bunt single followed, and then a double play. A curve, and it's laced into right for a base hit. Hindley Stacia will round third. The right fielder bobbles the ball, but Hindley is held at third as the right fielder had all sorts of trouble picking up that base hit by Flint Whipkey. Flint Whipkey lines a single into right. Hindley Stacia couldn't tell if it was going to get to the left of the second baseman, Luis Valbuena. So Stacia was late getting to third. And then Bobby Magallanes, who's been criticized, I think, unfairly for the last 3 years for being too aggressive with his base running, held Hindley Stacia at third, even though Jairo Garcia fumbled the ball, bobbled it not once, not twice, but 3 times. But with your cleanup batter at the plate, it's better to be safe than sorry. First and third. Nobody out for Jordan Renz. And a ball smashed foul onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion right off Jordan's fist. All he's left with is the handle of the bat. And a big part of Jordan Renz's bat went helicoptering down the third baseline in foul ground. Strike one to Jordan. Flint Whipkey with a line single into right. Hindley Stacia held at third. He didn't know Jairo Hernandez was going to fumble that ball all over the place. Could Hindley have scored? Sure he could have, but we didn't know that. Neither did Bobby Magallanes. A fastball from Fagan is down and in, and it's 1-1 to Jordan Renz. Jordan flew out to Casey Craig in front of the warning track and left his first time up. Nobody out with runners at the corners as Paul Fagan throws to first, and Flint Whipkey gets back standing up. Now Renz lays off a changeup that tailed low and outside. 1-0 Wisconsin. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Kernels have runners at the corners with nobody out. Will Flint Whipkey be running? No. A high fly ball into deep right sends Hernandez back at the wall, and he makes a sensational catch, tagging and scoring from third. Hindley Stacia, Jordan Renz pulls it high and deep to right, and Jairo Hernandez on the run took it in on the warning track. His momentum carried him into the 8-foot-high padded wall. He caught it. Stacia trotted home from third to score and make it a 1-1 game. Jordan Renz delivers a deep fly ball to right, a sacrifice fly. And we're tied here in the fourth inning, 1 apiece. Well, that's 15 RBIs for Jordan Renz. He started the season very slowly, but he's really come along recently. Whipkey held it first on that. Here's a pitch in the dirt, and Wu can't handle it. That may be a pass ball. It sends the go-ahead run to second base. I think that ball flicked off the mid of the catcher, Chao Kwan Wu, and they may charge him with a pass ball. Haven't heard anything from our official scorer, Al Grewal, yet, but that may be a pass ball. Well, now, Mark Trumbo has a chance to give the Kernels the lead. A fastball is a strike at the knees. We're going to call that a pass ball unless we're told differently. It was a breaking pitch down and in. I don't think it was in the dirt, and it deflected off of the catcher Wu's mitt and rolled towards the backstop. It allowed Whipkey to go to second. The 1-1 to Trumbo. Right-handed slugger for the Kernels, and the pitch is just low. 2-1. Al Gruwell must have done some consulting with some baseball experts. Everybody's agreed that it's a pass ball. Breaking pitch is low and in, and Mark Trumbo took it for ball 3. 3-1 to Mark Trumbo. Mark had 3 hits in the Colonel win last night. His first time up this afternoon, he flew out to left. Trumbo's hitting .211, 3 homers, 12 RBIs, and he's batting ahead in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike, with the go-ahead run Flint Whipkey at second here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1 our score. Ball 4 upstairs. What an at-bat for Trumbo. He joins Flint Whipkey aboard. And let's see if we have a visit to the hill by the Wisconsin pitching coach. The former big leaguer Lance Painter is not with the Timber Rattlers during this series. He's suffering from an illness. And Oliver Arias, well, not Oliver Arias, he's serving as the pitching coach, but it's going to be Jim Horner, the Timber Rattler manager, that comes out to the hill. Horner, a former catcher, so he knows plenty about diagnosing pitcher's strengths and weaknesses. Jim Horner is out. He's gathered his entire infield around, and Flint Whipkey takes the opportunity to trot from second base to third. He'll talk it over with Bobby Magallanes. Plenty of fun going on out in the Westdale Mall, Mix 96.5 FM, Whirling Waters Hot Tub. Some guy really lucked out. He's the only guy out there, and he's surrounded by 4 gals. A pitch low, ball 1 to Travis Schlichting. Who knows? He may be one of those women's brother. But that hot tub on an afternoon like we have here today would be quite inviting. Travis Schlichting, the batter. The lefty steps off and whirls and looks Flint Whipkey back to second. This afternoon, we're launching our second annual Launch-A-Ball promotion. It's sponsored by AirTran and Quad City International Airport. A lot of fun as fans buy tennis balls for just $1, and then they throw them at... Here's a number to short, could be a double play. Hudson Fields, it steps on second, fires to first, and it is an any double play as Travis Schlichting was jammed. He hit a 2-hopper to the shortstop. Robbie Hudson, who gloved it, stepped on second to force Trumbo, then threw out Travis Schlichting to complete the double play. 1 run for the Kernels in the 4th on 2 hits, a walk. There were no Wisconsin errors. The Kernels leave 1 man aboard and have stranded a pair. Let me finish my thought on the Launch-A-Ball promotion. Fans on Friday and Saturday, starting this afternoon, can buy a tennis ball for only $1 and then toss it onto the field after the game for a chance to win a $25 gift certificate from Genghis Grill Restaurant and qualify for a chance to win a round-trip ticket for 2 from Quad City International Airport to Orlando, Florida on AirTran. So that's the fun we have to look forward to yet today and tomorrow. We go to the top of the 5th inning, and the Kernels have caught the Timber Rattlers. We're even 1-1. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Kill Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Kill Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Kill Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykill.com. Randy Kill Honda, where they treat you right.
Through 4 innings, we're tied 1 apiece. The lower third of the Wisconsin order to face southpaw Kelly Shear. He fires a strike to Jairo Hernandez and now skips a changeup in the dirt that almost hit Jairo. Boisterous, energetic crowd comprised of youngsters and business folk. A ground ball to the left side and a terrific ranging stop by Dallas Morris. He had to go quickly to his left, reach down, he did it, and he throws out Jairo Hernandez. That's 6 in a row now, set down by the Colonel lefty, Kelly Shear. Dallas Morris was very quick, moving to his left, reached down, and then fired to Mark Trumbo as Jairo Hernandez made a bid for a leadoff single here in the top of the 5th inning. A curve from Kelly is high, ball 1 to Chow Kwan Woo, the catcher. Woo popped out to short, Heinle Stacia, to end the 2nd inning. A ground ball through the left side is a base hit. Chow Kwan Woo has the 4th hit of the day for the visitors. He slapped it between Morris and Stacia into left field, where Jordan Renz gets it back in. 1 on, 1 out for a fellow who I think is the catalyst on this entire Wisconsin team, Robbie Hudson. He doesn't strike out much. He's a tough out. Doesn't swing at bad pitches. In fact, Kelly Shear was ahead of him in the 3rd inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, but he walked him, and then Hudson stole second and scored on a double play. Strike 1 to Robbie Hudson, right-handed batter. Chow Kwan Woo leads away at first. Hudson pumps the next pitch foul. It hits the facade of the grandstand roof. Bounces all the way back to the field of play. Brad Kuhn is shifted into right center field for Robbie Hudson. Kelly Shear has his sign. Comes set, above the belt, and brings it. And a little looper into shallow right. That's a base hit. What did I tell you about Robbie Hudson? The ball trickles into the Colonel bullpen, and it gets by Mark Trumbo, but he comes up with it in time to, or not Mark Trumbo, Marco Albano. On to third, Chow Kwan Woo, Robbie Hudson with a double. That guy is murder against Colonel pitching, Robbie Hudson. An 0-2 pitch. Kelly made a very fine pitch in on Robbie Hudson's trademark of his bat, but Robbie dumped a Texas League double over the head of Mark Trumbo. It spun into the right field Colonel bullpen, and it sent the go-ahead run, Woo to third. 2nd and 3rd, only 1 out, and Jeffrey Dominguez could give Wisconsin the lead back. Man, that Robbie Hudson's a spark plug. Reminds me of the guy we miss so much, Ryan Leahy. Ryan was promoted to Rancho Cucamonga a week and a half ago, and you lose a guy like that off your ball club, and you're losing a lot. A changeup drifts just outside, ball 1 to Jeffrey Dominguez. Dominguez is rolled to short and bunted his way on. 2nd and 3rd, 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning, 1-1 the score. Ball 2 up and away. The Colonel infielders play in at the corners. Dallas Morris a good 15 feet off the bag at third, and Mark Trumbo at first. Stacia and Albano are positioned at their regular spots, so they will not come home on a ground ball. A pitch in the dirt, terrific stop by Flint Whipke, but it's ball 3 to Dominguez. It almost looks like Kelly Shear would rather face Luis Valbuena, the on-deck hitter, than he would Jeffrey Dominguez. And that's the case. They're going to put him on. Ball 4 is outside. An intentional walk to Jeffrey Dominguez loads the bases here in the 5th inning with 1 out. Wu at third, Hudson at second, Jeffrey Dominguez at first for Luis Valbuena. Luis digging in from the left side is a .220 batter. No homers, 10 RBIs. A single, a double, and a walk have loaded the bases as Wisconsin threatens to break this 1-1 deadlock. Valbuena's from Venezuela. Kelly Shear works from the stretch. His first delivery is a strike call. The fastball on the inside corner, and now Flint Whipke calls time and trots on the path carved between the mound and the plate, the dirt path, and he's having a word with Kelly Shear. Flint's wearing red shin guards and a red chest protector. The Kernels get Robert Romero up and loosening in their right field bullpen. Right-hander Robert Romero. The 0-1 to Valbuena. Curve, and it's pounded off the plate. The only play will be for Flint Whipke to throw to first, not in time, and safe. Wisconsin takes the lead on a little nubber, a bleeder about, 20 feet up the first baseline. Whipke and Shear came together, almost collided. Flint picked it up, threw to first, but Luis Valbuena beat it out. And scoring from third is Chow Kwan Woo, the cheapest of hits for Luis Valbuena, but he drives in a run. More importantly, the bases are loaded now with only 1 out. And Kernan Ronan comes out of the Colonel dugout. He's having a heart-to-heart conversation with Colonel lefty Kelly Shear. This heart-to-heart conversation is sponsored by Mercy Medical Center. You owe it to yourself and the people who love you to find out what your risk of heart disease is with a $35 heart-to-heart screening from who else? Mercy Medical Center. The heart screening at Mercy is quick, easy, and convenient. Most importantly, it could save your life. To schedule your heart-to-heart screening at Mercy Medical Center, call 398-6821. That's 398-6821. Kernan Ronan has completed his heart-to-heart conversation with Kelly Shear, and I'm sure what Kernan was saying is, hey, you haven't given up but 1 hard-hit ball in this inning, so go to work on the batter, and let's see if we can prevent the Timber Rattlers from a big inning. Ball 1 in the dirt to Ron Garth. Robbie Hudson's Texas League double wasn't hit worth a lick. Luis Valbuena dribbled one off the plate, 20 feet to the right of the plate, and neither Kelly Shear nor Flint Whipke could make a play. Here's another little squibber. Kelly Shear throws home in time! That was a terrific play by Kelly Shear as he gloved that ball with all sorts of spin on it, underhanded it to Flint Whipke, and dashing across the plate to be forced out was Robbie Hudson. Oh, that's a big, big defensive play by Kelly Shear. Ron Garth topped the pitch in front of home plate, about halfway to the mound. Kelly Shear came in quickly, gloved it, underhanded it for a 1-2 pitcher-to-catcher put-out of Robbie Thompson. That's a big play. Now a swing and a miss by Mike Saunders. The score remains 2-1, Timber Rattlers here in the top of the 5th inning. It sure helps when you can field your position as a hurler. Now a change-up in the dirt for ball 1. The bases remain loaded, 2 gone here in the Timber Rattler 5th inning. Wisconsin has taken the lead 2-1. Mike Saunders on a 1-1 delivery. Cracks it hard past first, and it'll clear the bases, I think. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Racing around third is Ron Garth. The throw into the cutoff man not in time. A heave over the head of the third baseman, and that'll allow the batter to score. Bases clearing triple, and then a bad decision by Marco Albano. He heaved it over the head of Dallas Morris, and that really deflates this crowd. 4-run score for the Timber Rattlers on a triple by Mike Saunders. He smashed it on the ground past Mark Trumbo into the right field corner. Jeffrey Dominguez scored from third. Luis Valbuena sped around from second to score. Ron Garth, with 2 outs, scored all the way from first on a 3-run triple by Saunders. To make matters worse, Marco Albano made an ill-advised throw over the head of Dallas Morris, the third baseman. Kelly Shear was backing up the play, but he couldn't come up with it cleanly. And so 4-run score on a triple and an error by the Kernels second baseman, E4. And that may do it for Kelly Shear. Robert Romero is warming up in the Kernel right field bullpen. Kelly was within 1 out of getting out of this jam. But credit Mike Saunders. He cleared the bases and scored himself to make it 6-1. Biggest play of the afternoon is just unfolded. 6-1 Wisconsin. Now a swing and a miss by Brian Sabatella. I'm not sure why Marco Albano threw to third unless somebody told him to, because his throw had much too much on it. It sailed over the head of Dallas Morris and got past Kelly Shear. Now here's a high, lazy fly ball down the right field line. It's chased by Madrigal, but it thumps off the green fence beyond the Kernel first earth right field bullpen. And the count is 1-2 to Brian Sabatella. Well, doggone it. Tough break for Kelly Shear. He got that forced out at the plate, but then Mike Saunders grounded one sharply between Trumbo and the bag. And all 3 Timber Rattler runners scored, plus the batter, Mike Saunders, scored on the throwing error from the Kernel second baseman. The 1-2 pitch just missed outside to Brian Sabatella. Credit Mike Saunders with 3 RBIs. He now has 14. The 2-2. Changeup is bounced back to the hill. Kelly Shear has it and throws the batter out. And I want to give Kelly Shear a lot of praise and credit. He hung in there in this inning. It is not his fault that Wisconsin erupted for all the runs that they scored. In the 5th inning, the Timber Rattlers strike for 5 runs on 4 hits, 2 of them of the cheapest variety, 1 big Kernel error. Wisconsin leaves the bases empty. They've stranded 3. Well, the Kernels have to go to work on offense as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Wisconsin now leads the Kernels 6-1. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are 2 hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council World-Class Apprenticeship Program. These experienced tradesmen will work with signed contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Great to have you with us this afternoon as the Kernels trail 6-1, bottom of the 5th inning. Dallas Morris is first up against lefty Paul Fagan, and Dallas goes up swinging and fouls one over the grandstand roof behind home plate. It looks like Kelly Shear will be done after 5 innings. He allowed 6 runs on 7 hits. Kelly did not strike out a Timber Rattler. Here's a ground ball, backhanded at third, turning Ron Garth into a spinning top, and he throws out Dallas Morris. Quite a play turned in by the Wisconsin third baseman as Dallas Morris hit one sharply. It looked like it would get by Ron Garth. Ron backhanded it, and then did a pirouette 360 and threw out Dallas, one gone, here in the 5th inning. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in the top of the 6th inning, so that's another fun feature of the broadcast to look forward to. Warner Madrigal walked his first time up, but was thrown out trying to steal second. Ball one low to Warner from Paul Fagan. Kelly Shear walked 3 batters this afternoon, and unfortunately all 3 scored. But I'll tell you what, Kelly battled. There's ball 2 way high and outside to Warner Madrigal. And it looks like Robert Romero will take over on the hill for the Kernels when Wisconsin bats in the top of the 6th inning. That's when we'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you. The 2-0 to Warner. High and away, ball 3. Kelly Shear, unofficially 5 innings pitched, allowed 6 runs, 5 earned, on 7 hits, struck out none, and walked 3. Kelly competed hard. A 3-0 pitch is over for strike 1 to Warner. Now Madrigal lifts one in the air to deep right. Back at the wall is Hernandez. He looks up, and it is a home run for Warner Madrigal. Warner Madrigal homered last night over 8th Avenue beyond the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. This afternoon he goes the other way and socks one over the right field wall just beyond the leaping grab of Jairo Hernandez, and that cuts Wisconsin's lead to 6-2. That's another $25 from PRC's Community Care in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign to the Haycap Food Reservoir. For every Colonel home run this season, PRC, the former Access Direct here in Cedar Rapids, donates $25 in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign to the Haycap Food Reservoir. $300 now has been contributed by the great folks at PRC and their community care wing to the Haycap Food Reservoir. Well, that got the kids stirred up a little bit. A Madrigal home run is second in as many games. Marco Albano, meanwhile, shoots one over the first baseman's head, down the right field line, into the corner it goes. Jairo Hernandez digs it out at the 325 mark, hits the cutoff man. It's a stand-up double for Marco Albano. The Colonel number 9 hitter has his 3rd double in just 6 games. And the Colonels are making some noise against left-hander Paul Fagan here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's the 4th Colonel hit of the afternoon. And Brad Kuhn has an RBI chance. 6-2 Timber Rattlers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Our Springhouse trivia question will come your way when Wisconsin bats in the 6th inning. A curve, and Kuhn drives it in the air foul. It's chased by 2 Timber Rattlers, 3rd baseman Ron Garth and left fielder Casey Craig, but it kerplops onto the grass slope seating berm where a tiny little girl has picked it up for a lifetime honorary Colonel contract and a free spaghetti dinner from Zio Giano's. Now she's trying to walk up those steps to claim her lifetime honorary Colonel contract. She'll need a little help. The 0-1 to Brad Kuhn. Fastball just missed high. 1-1. Wisconsin erupted for 5 in the top of this 5th inning. The Colonels have answered with a run on a Warner Madrigal home run. And they have Marco Albano at second with 1 out. A curve is a strike called to Brad Kuhn. Robert Romero, Colonel right-hander, looks like he'll take over on the hill in this game. Let's hope the Colonel rally can continue with Brad Kuhn in the hole 1 and 2. Brad calls time and steps out. The kids down below are chanting something, and I just can't quite make it out. Well, you never know with kids anyway, do you? Brad Kuhn breaks his bat and pops one to the left of the mound, and springing off the hill to catch it before it hit the ground, Paul Fagan. Oh, brother, Brad Kuhn was sawed off right on his thumbs and broke his bat, hit a weak pop-up that I was hoping would drop in front of the mound. That would have been a base hit had it, but it was caught by Paul Fagan, the pitcher. Very good base running by Marco Albano, as he was not doubled off second. A 2-out hit by Stacia would cut Wisconsin's lead in half. They lead at 6-2. Strike one to Heinle, who led off the fourth inning with a double over the head of Casey Craig in left. Nothing doing in the Wisconsin left field bullpen as Heinle Stacia belts one into deep left in front of the track. Casey Craig has it measured, and he makes the catch. So Heinle Stacia flies to left to end the Kernel fifth inning. The Kernels get one run back. They score on the Warner Madrigal home run. Cannot drive home Marco Albano, who followed with the double. One run in the Kernel fifth on 2 hits. There were no Timber Rattler errors. The Kernels leave a runner and have stranded 3. Our Springhouse trivia question comes your way in the top half of the 6th inning. After 5 this afternoon on this cloudy Friday afternoon, Kernels trail the Timber Rattlers 6-2. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. But when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talent. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
We have a call to the Kernel bullpen here in the top of the 6th. It's sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes, only from U.S. Cellular. Robert Romero, a 21-year-old right-hander from the state of Texas, 5'10", 190, is on in relief for lefty Kelly Shear. Kelly spun 5 innings this afternoon, surrendered 6 runs, 5 of them earned on 7 hits. He struck out none and walked 3. 6-2 in favor of the Timber Rattlers as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Robert Romero 0-1 this season, a 3.86 ERA. This is his 5th appearance out of the Kernel bullpen. No saves. In 4 2/3, Robert has given up 5 hits, struck out 4 in 4 2/3, walked 1 in the league, hitting .278 against Robert Romero. Casey Craig, left-handed hitting left fielder, had 2 hits last night. He's flown to center and lined to right this afternoon. And a swing and a tip foul into the mid of Flint Whipke, strike 1. The sun just won't break through. This morning, that's all we heard about on the weather forecast was all the sun we were going to have, but we haven't had much, if any, this afternoon. Just some teasing by the sun. Craig takes high and away. If you've been one of our 12 previous Springhouse Trivia question winners, that's great. We encourage you to play along wherever you're tuned in this afternoon, but don't call in. Casey Craig lifts a high pop foul towards the grass slope seating berm, and it is beyond the reach of Dallas Morris, the third baseman, 1 and 2 to Casey Craig. We're looking for a new winner in our Springhouse Trivia question. A $5 gift certificate will go to the winner. And Luvita Hill will have some exciting news about a new offering at the Springhouse. There's ball 2 in the dirt. Well, Luvita, what's up at the Springhouse?
Well, they offer a lunch buffet that's $5.95 from Monday through Friday only. Then there's a dinner buffet at $6.95 after 4:30 Monday through Friday only. Remember, this is a buffet.
Yes, and that means it's all you can eat, and Lester Schmitz and his crew there at the Springhouse are very excited about offering a buffet. It just adds to your choice at the Springhouse. Sure, you can order off the menu, but as Luvita said, the buffet is good. Well, what's the price, Luvita, for lunch buffet?
The lunch buffet is $5.95.
And the dinner?
$6.95.
That's value. The 2-2. Cranked hard to first. Mark Trumbo knocks it down. Underhands to Robert Romero, and that's good enough to get Casey Craig. It went first to pitcher 3-1. 1 out here in the 6th inning with Robert Romero getting Casey Craig. And as Luvita said, that lunch and dinner buffet at the Springhouse Monday through Friday. And, oops, I forgot one thing. Does it include the salad bar?
Yes, it does include the salad bar.
All right. Luvita, I'll have to take you to the Springhouse. It's really an institution here in Cedar Rapids. Bob Brooks has been there, and a lot of our listeners enjoy going to Center Point Road and enjoying the great home-cooked meals at the Springhouse, including those lunch and dinner buffets for those very, very good prices. 2-0 now to Jairo Hernandez. A $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse is what you'll earn if you call in with the correct answer to our Springhouse trivia question here in the top of the 6th. The 2-0 from Romero to Jairo Hernandez is a strike at the knees. Again, if you've won already this spring, please play along, but don't call in. The number you'll call is 896-7589, 896-7589, and we'll have the question for you in just a moment, and you can call in. A pitch tomahawked foul down the left field line. That ball came right in on the hands of Hernandez, and he may have broken his bat. All right, here's our Springhouse trivia question. Name the former Mariner who set a single-season American League record for home runs and RBIs by a second baseman in Seattle's 2001 116-win season. Name the former Mariner who set a single-season American League record for home runs and RBIs by a second baseman in Seattle's 2001 106-win season. Swing and a miss by Jairo Hernandez. 2 gone here in the Wisconsin 6th inning. Now the batter is Chow Kwan Woo. He singled to left to start Wisconsin's 5-run 5th inning. Chow Kwan Woo is hitting .212, no homers, 6 RBIs in 9 games. He's a left-handed hitting catcher. And Robert's first pitch is down and in for ball 1. Robert Romero wears his white Colonel home trousers all the way down to his shoe tops. The 1-0 is spanked to short. Stacia gobbles it up near his chest and on to first for the out. Woo bounces out to short, and a 1-2-3 inning for Robert Romero. We'll have good news for you in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll congratulate our Springhouse trivia question winner and share the answer that they correctly gave just moments ago. 1-2-3-0 across for Wisconsin in the top of the 6th inning. And as we head to the home half of the 6th, it's the Kernels trailing Wisconsin 6-2. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
We go to the home half of the sixth inning, 6-2 in favor of the Timber Rattlers, and we have a winner to congratulate in our Springhouse Trivia question. Steve Smith will be receiving a $5 certificate in the mail. Steve's our winner, and we'll share the question with you and give his answer in a moment. It'll be the heart of the Kernel order here in the bottom of the sixth inning to face lefty Paul Fagan. Wisconsin with a 5-run fifth, the difference in the game. Flint Whipke lifts a high, lazy fly ball into right center field. The right fielder, Jairo Hernandez, underneath it, and Flint Whipke's retired on a first pitch swing, a fly ball to right. Our Springhouse Trivia question asks you to name the former Mariner who set a single-season American League record for home runs and RBIs by a second baseman in Seattle's 2001 106-win season. And Steve Smith correctly identified Brett Boone. Brett Boone had a monster year for the Mariners in 2001. I believe he's retired now, finished up with the Twins last year. Boone slugged 37 home runs, drove in a league-high 141 runs in the 2001 season for Seattle. And he had a couple of other good years following that. Of course, his brother Aaron hit a big home run for the Yankees in the playoffs against Boston a year or two ago, then wrenched his knee playing basketball. It's 2-0 to Jordan Renz. A drive into left, a line drive, and a diving catch out there by Casey Craig to take a double away from Renz. Jordan pulverized that 2-0 pitch, crushed it, lines out to left field where Casey Craig made a sprawling catch to his right to take a double away from Jordan Renz, who tied the game at 1 back in the fourth inning with a sacrifice fly. Casey Craig with the defensive play of the afternoon in left for the Timber Rattlers. Maybe he's inspired by that crew in the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Whirling Waters home run hot tub. Mark Trumbo walked his last time up. He takes a strike, and now a changeup from Paul Fagan. Strike 2. 6-2 Timber Rattlers. We're in the home half of the sixth inning on this cool, overcast Friday afternoon. The 0-2 to Mark. High and away for ball 1. A right-hander is on his feet and is starting to throw for Wisconsin. Mark Trumbo stands motionless at the plate and lays off a changeup outside, ball 2. There's strike 3, a fastball on the inside corner, and that's the fourth strikeout of the afternoon for lefty Paul Fagan. He retires the Kernels in order for the first time since the first inning. After 6 on Cinco de Mayo, it's Wisconsin on top of the Kernels, 6-2. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty. and 7-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odysseys. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
Here we go to the top of the 7th inning. The Kernels still within striking distance of Wisconsin, to be sure, down 6-2. Robert Romero, on in relief of starter Kelly Shear, retired the Timber Rattlers in order in the 6th inning. Tomorrow evening's game will start at 5 o'clock. A 5 o'clock start tomorrow. And then Levita Hill told you earlier about the Family Fun Sunday. Come early. The gates open at 1. $1 popcorn on Sunday afternoon. The Kernels will be signing autographs in front of their first base home dugout from 1:20 until 1:40. And then Velocity Sports Performance will sponsor Run the Bases. Robbie Hudson corks one into center, hit it hard, but Brad Kuhn's been a busy man out there today, and Brad rumbles in a few steps to put it away. And let's see how many putouts Brad Kuhn has in center field this afternoon. I count 3. I thought it was one more than that. One away as the Kernels get Robbie Hudson for the first time this afternoon. 6-2 Timber Rattlers. Top of the 7th inning. Robert Romero pitches to Jeffrey Dominguez. And Dominguez takes low for ball 1. Kernels have a right-hander up in their bullpen. Chris Howell. Dominguez, a switch hitter, batting left for the first time, and he lays off a pitch high and away, ball 2. 2-0 to Dominguez. Jeffrey walked and scored in that 5-run 5th inning for the Timber Rattlers. That's the difference in this game. Ball 3 is outside. Robert Romero was a high pick by the Angels last year out of Grayson Community College. And he loses Dominguez, a 4-pitch walk by Robert to Jeffrey Dominguez. And Jeffrey's reached for the 3rd straight time today. 1 on, 1 out for Luis Valbuena, left-handed hitter. Valbuena broke a 1-1 tie in that 5-run 5th inning. With the bases loaded, he squibbed one, nubbed it to the right of home plate between Kelly Shear and Flint Whipke, and on that play, Chow Kwan Woo scored. Throw to first, and the Kernels thought they had Dominguez. Jeffrey's 4 for 6 in stolen base attempts. No action this afternoon in the big leagues. It's a Friday afternoon. But we'll have a preview of all the action tonight on the Colonel Curtin Call, a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Valbuena takes upstairs, and that's ball 1. And suddenly, Robert Romero has been unable to find the strike zone. Dominguez leads away at first, so Romero, the Colonel right-hander, steps off. Valbuena taps one up the middle. Stacia has it right at second, steps on second, throws to first for the inning-ending double play. The Kernels have turned their 3rd double play of the afternoon, and that was a nifty one as Valbuena stroked it up the middle. Heinley Stacia fielded it on top of the bag, stepped on second, threw to first a 6-3 double play to end the Wisconsin 7th inning. No runs for the Timber Rattlers, no hits, a walk. There were no Kernel errors, and the Timber Rattlers leave the bases empty. They've only stranded 3 runners in 7 innings. We go to the home half of the 7th. Lindale Dental Care will bring us the 7th inning stretch. Let's listen in for just a moment. It's brought to us by Lindale Dental Care. Lefty Paul Fagan back to the hill for the bottom of the 7th. His mates lead the Kernels 6-2. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellow Book combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Travis Schlichting fouls the first pitch, or the second pitch from lefty Paul Fagan off to the right, 1-1. And now Travis, a little blooper just over the head of the leaping second baseman into shallow right. Luis Valbuena, agonizingly close, if you're a Timber Rattler fan, to catching that one. But Travis Schlichting's aboard, and perhaps that Texas League single will get the Kernels going in the right direction here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-2 Wisconsin. Robert Romero, 2 innings pitched out of the Kernel bullpen, allowed no runs, no hits, struck out 1, and walked 1. Schlichting is aboard at first with the 5th Kernel hit of the day. Bottom of the 7th, here's Dallas Morris. Right-handed hitter, and a pitch in the dirt, ball 1. A right-hander is throwing in Wisconsin's left field bullpen. And that Timber Rattler right-hander is Joe Warman. Joe Warman warming up for Wisconsin. Ball 2 high to Dallas Morris. Chris Howell warming up for the Kernels in their right field bullpen, and it looks like Chris will pitch the 8th inning. A cloudy, cool Friday afternoon, and a deep drive to left by Dallas Morris is a home run to make it 6-4 Timber Rattlers. It's Dallas's first of the year, Schlichting aboard in front of him, and Dallas Morris has cut the Wisconsin lead to 2 here in the 7th inning, 6-4. Second home run hit by the Kernels this afternoon, and it's another $25 that PRC's Community Care, the former Access Direct here in Cedar Rapids, will donate to the Haycap Food Reservoir. We have Paul Fagan leaving after that 2-run homer by Dallas Morris. PRC, the former Access Direct, has now donated $325 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. $25 for every Colonel home run wallop this year to the Haycap Food Reservoir to help eliminate hunger in our community, thanks to PRC's Community Care. Dallas Morris with his first home run of the season, and it's now a 6-4 game. Right-hander Joe Warman, W-O-E-R-M-A-N, Warman, 23 years old. He was a Mariner 11th round pick in 2003 out of San Diego City College. Joe Warman. And he comes on in relief for Paul Fagan. Fagan goes 6 innings and surrenders 4 Colonel runs on 6 hits. 2 of them here in the 7th inning. The lefty Fagan struck out 4 Kernels, walked 2, and hit 1. So Paul Fagan goes 6 innings. He can win. He cannot lose. Surrenders 4 runs in 6 innings on 6 hits, struck out 4, walked 2, and hit a batter. Joe Warman, W-O-E-R-M-A-N. This is Joe's 4th year of professional baseball. He's a tall right-hander, 6'3", 200 pounds. He looks taller than 6'3". And the first batter against Warman is Madrigal, a knee-buckling curve, a strike to Warner. Warner walked in the 3rd, but was thrown out trying to steal 2nd, then belted his 2nd home run in as many games his last time up. Ball 1 outside from the right-hander. Well, the Kernels have fought back to make it 6-4. Joe Warman 0-2 this year with a 3.65 ERA. Madrigal rolls 1 foul down the third base side. Bottom of the 7th inning. Madrigal takes outside, ball 2. That one all the way to the screen. Joe Warman, 12 in the 3rd innings pitched this year, has allowed 10 hits. Joe has struck out 21 batters in 12 and a third, walked 6. He has 2 saves. The league is hitting .227 against Joe Warman, the right-hander. Nobody out as Madrigal takes a curve, strike 3 called. Warner was done in on that breaking pitch. Now 1 out here in the Colonel 7th inning. Marco Albano followed Madrigal's home run in the 5th inning with a double down the right field line, but the Colonels left Albano stranded at second base after that double. Our baseball fun fact. You've probably heard by now about the minor league umpires labor dispute. They're on strike, and we've been using replacement umpires. Well, Major League umpires went on strike for the first time in history in 1979. I had forgotten that, but that's our baseball fun fact. Albano takes a 1-0 fastball at the knees, 1-1 to Marco. He steps out. Yes, Major League umpires went on strike for the first 45 days of the 1979 season. The 6'3" right-hander brings it high and away for ball 2. In fact, on May 9th of 1979, replacement umpires had a banner day or a tough day, however you want to look at it. They ejected 4 managers, 1 coach, and 5 players throughout the big leagues on May 9th. The strike ended 10 days later, May 19th, 1979. Strike 2 to Marco Albano. It's 2-2 to the Colonel second baseman. 6-4 Timber Rattlers here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Albano held up on a breaking pitch low and away for ball 3. The count full now to the Colonel number 9 hitter. Schlichting with a broken bat Texas League single, followed by a Dallas Morris 2-run homer. And the Kernels are within 2 of Wisconsin. Albano, a chopper to short. Big hop for Robbie Hudson, the throw to first. In time as Marco Albano bounces to short. 2 away here in the Kernels' 7th inning. Brad Kuhn, the batter. Well, I know very little about the world of umpiring. That's the area of expertise of George Spelius, the Midwest League president. George's son-in-law, Marty Foster, is a major league umpire, and George has nurtured and guided the umpires in this Midwest League during his 18 years at the helm. He backs them 100% no matter what the situation, because he knows they're young. And he hopes, like we do, that this labor dispute will be resolved. Brad Kuhn belts one into deep right center. On the run, Hernandez. He can't get it. It goes into the right center field gap. Kuhn is racing to third. The throw to third. Not in time. Brad Kuhn is tripled with 2 outs into the right center field alley. And the crowd loves it. Brad Kuhn has his 2nd triple of the year. And I'll tell you what, there aren't too many plays in baseball as exciting as a triple. Kuhn socked it high and deep into the right center field gap between Jairo Hernandez and the center fielder, Mike Saunders. And now if Heinle Stacia could come through, the Kernels would pull to within 1 run of the Timber Rattlers. Heinle's 1 for 3 today, doubled and scored to tie the game back in the 4th inning. Ball 1 outside from right-hander Joe Warman. Brad Kuhn lofted one high and deep into right center for a 2-out triple. Stacia, switch hitter batting left for the first time today, takes a backdoor breaker at the knees for strike 1. Joe Warman came on in relief here in the 7th inning after Dallas Morris slugged a 2-run homer. Heinle watches a fastball jut just downstairs and inside for ball 2. Oh, these kids are having a good time here today. Warman misses in the dirt, ball 3. And the catcher Chow Kwan Woo from Taiwan asks for and gets a new baseball from the plate umpire. He's clad in gray trousers, a navy blue knit top, and a pair of kangaroo pouches draped from his black belt loop. His black belt, the loops are gray. There's a strike to run the count full to Heinle Stacia. This place will erupt if Heinle could come through with something productive on this payoff pitch. A tip foul, and that one knocked the mask right off the catcher. Thankfully, Chow Kwan Woo wearing a black Timber Rattler batting helmet, black shin guards, a black chest protector. Plate umpire extends him a courtesy by taking time to wipe off home plate so Woo can recover a little bit. Kuhn at third, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Kernels trail by a pair, 6-4. The next payoff delivery. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Heinle Stacia down swinging to end the Kernels' 7th. The Kernels strike for a pair on 3 hits. There were no Wisconsin errors, and the Kernels leave 1 aboard and have stranded 4. Kernels, trying to battle back from a 6-1 deficit, have cut Wisconsin's lead to 2 as we head to the 8th inning. Timber Rattlers on top 6-4. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center reminds you that Mother's Day is Sunday, May 14th. Your mom will be delighted when she receives flowers and plants from Peck's. Pex is your professional FTD and Teleflora florist and can deliver your Mother's Day gift, flowers, and plants almost anywhere. Choose from one of Peck's many thoughtful fresh flower bouquets and drawing plant arrangements. Peck will create the perfect floral gift for your mom and deliver it for you if you wish. Order early, now while you're thinking about it. It's easy. Just call Peck at 393-5565. Stop in. Peck is open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. weeknights and until 5 p.m. on weekends. Or visit Peck's Florist website at www.pecksflorist.com. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, delivering a Mother's Day smile since 1956. Peck's at the corner of Blair Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast.
That's Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill with that important reminder from Peck's. It's never too early to start thinking about Mother's Day, and as Luvita said, Peck's is open until 8 o'clock on weeknights and 5 o'clock on weekends, and for a beautiful flower bouquet arrangement or a plant arrangement, Peck's will bring Mother's Day smiles all across the country. If that's what you'd like, they can deliver almost anywhere. We have a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes, only from U.S. Cellular. Chris Howell on for the 9th time. Chris has been roughed up a little bit in his last 2 appearances out of the Colonel bullpen, but he's in a big spot here, trying to keep the Colonels within striking distance, and first pitch swinging and roping one hard, but out to right, Ron Garth. Ron Garth stepped into the first pitch from right-hander Chris Howell and lines out to right, one away. Chris Howell, Tuesday night here at home, was hung with a loss in our series finale against South Bend. Chris went 2 1/3, surrendered 3 runs on 4 hits, struck out 3, walked none. That was an extra inning loss, as South Bend got a 2-run pinch hit home run from Greg Thompson en route to the 10-inning win. Mike Saunders watches a changeup drop in on the outside corner, strike 1. Robert Romero was dandy out of the Colonel bullpen. 2 innings pitched, he allowed no runs, no hits, struck out 1, walked 1. Saunders has the biggest hit in this game, a bases clearing, bases loaded, 2-out triple in the 5th inning. He swings at a changeup and misses, strike 2. And the Colonels have more action in their bullpen. Right-hander Tim Madison is working. There's ball 2, just low to Mike Saunders. Saunders scored on that 3-run triple when Marco Albano. Here's a tap past the hill. Marco Albano slides to his right, sidearms to first to get his man. Mike Saunders is grounded to second, and Chris Howell has retired the first 2 here in the Wisconsin 8th inning. Chris on the year is 1-1 and lost 2. This is his 9th appearance out of the Colonel bullpen, a 5.17 earned run average. In 15 2/3, Howell has surrendered 18 hits, struck out 13 in 15 2/3, walked only 4. Brian Sabatella takes a breaking pitch just outside. Sabatella is a big right-handed batter, wears his black socks up high. Curve, and it's just low. Boy, when I was a kid, almost every team had stripes on their socks. Not too many have stripes on their socks anymore. The Cardinals maintain that traditional red sock with the white and blue stripes. The 3-0 is a strike called as Howell fell behind. Chris is a right-hander out of the University of Tennessee who pitched in the College World Series last season in Omaha. A pitch wrapped to shortstop. Boy, Heinle Statius played a marvelous game in the field. He comes up with it and fires to first to get Brian Sabatella short to first. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Colonel right-hander Chris Howell. Down in order go the Timber Rattlers in the top of the 8th, and we go to the lower half of the 8th. Big crowd on hand. They'd love to see the Colonels rally. After 7.5, Wisconsin leads the Colonels 6-4. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds. Gotcha. Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Aha! Yes!
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
The Kernels down by just a pair. Bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and a curve from Joe Warman is inside to Flint Whipke. Flint now takes a fastball for a strike. Whipke, 1 for 3 today. Heart of the Kernel order here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A light breeze is still blowing from left to right as Flint tips a foul right at the plate. He's in the hole 1-2. Tim Madison will likely work the 9th inning for the Kernels. Chris Howell, 1 spotless inning, and that's great. Chris is a big part of this Kernel team, and we're glad he's back on track this afternoon with a very solid 1 inning of hitless relief. In fact, he and Robert Romero have kept the Kernels within reach of the Timber Rattlers. Ball 2 outside to the Kernel number 3 hitter, who launches one into shallow right down the line. Jairo Hernandez, it's deeper than I thought. Jairo tiptoes over to his left and near the line. Hernandez has it. Flint Whipke is the first Kernel out in the bottom of the 8th inning as he flies to right. Jordan Renz had a double taken away from him on a sensational catch in left by Casey Craig on a sinking line drive his last time up. Well, it looks like our guests in the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub have had just about enough. We'll take a look out there and confirm whether they're still in the hot tub or if they've all gotten out with their sweats on. There's a fastball high. It's 1-1 to Jordan Renz. Will Luvita Hill, anybody still left having their skin crinkle up? I'm just kidding. You could a ground ball to third, off the third baseman's glove. He recovers, throws, not in time. That'll be an error charged on Ron Garth as he tried to backhand a ground ball hit by Jordan Renz. It hit off the heel of his glove. Garth recovered, but not in time as Jordan Renz beats it out. Luvita, how many people left in that Whirling Waters home run hot tub from Westdale Mall and Mix 96.5 FM?
Well, there are 2 people still in the hot tub, though some of their friends are gathered around.
Well, I'll tell you what, that would be a very interesting place to watch the ball game from. One thing you'd know, Luvita, you'd be relaxed.
That's right, that warm water and this cool temperature.
Oh, it's a perfect combination. Swinging a foul by Mark Trumbo. He had a good rip at a Joe Warman curve. Indeed, Al Gruwell has charged Ron Garth with an error, the first error of the day by Wisconsin. Tying run at the plate, 1 away, bottom of the 8th inning. It's just past 2 o'clock, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids. Mark Trumbo, 3 hits last night. 0-for-2 with a walk today. The outfield is playing extremely deep. A curve, and it's strike 2 to Mark. The center fielder is only 4 steps from the edge of the warning track. That's Mike Saunders. Casey Craig is only a few steps from the edge of the left field warning track below the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Whirling Waters home run hot tub. Ooh, a fastball just missed away from the tall Wisconsin right-hander Joe Warman. It looks like their skipper Jim Horner is going to let Warman try to not only pitch this 8th inning, but work the 9th inning as well. There's nobody warming up in the Timber Rattler left field bullpen. And a sharp curve is low. It evens the count 2-2 to Mark Trumbo. Some of the fans down below are huddled up in an Iowa Hawkeye gold and black blanket. The 2-2 to Mark. Instead, Warman steps off. Curve, and that one's looped into center right at Mike Saunders. He had to move 1 step to make the one-handed catch. Oh, Mark Trumbo stroked it hard, but right at the center fielder for the second out here in the 8th inning. Now Travis Schlichting, who dumped his Texas League single into right and scored ahead of Dallas Morris's home run in the 7th inning, will bat. Still a 2-run lead for the Timber Rattlers. Travis, a .234 average, appearing in this homestand for the first time since Sunday afternoon against South Bend. Fastball is a strike called to Schlichting. Now a right-hander is up in the Timber Rattler bullpen, and we'll see if Lubita can spot his number for us. Kind of hard to tell from here because he doesn't turn his back to home plate. He just started throwing, a Wisconsin right-hander. The 0-1 to Travis. A shot into the right field corner, extra bases. It should score. Jordan Renz, maybe not. Hernandez comes up with it, hits the cutoff man. Renz has to hold at third on a double by Travis Schlichting. And now the Kernels have the tying runs at second and third with 2 out for Dallas Morris. Travis Schlichting laces a double down the right field line into the corner. And a very good play by Jairo Hernandez to dig it out of that corner and keep Renz from scoring. But the Kernels now have the tying runs in scoring position with 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And we've learned the right-hander is Edgar Guaramato. Edgar Guaramato is warming up for Wisconsin in their left field bullpen. All right, this crowd is on the edge of its seats as Dallas Morris has a chance to deliver home the tying runs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Curve, and Dallas lifts it foul onto the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. No balls, 1 strike to Dallas Morris. Wild pitch. Renz will try to score, and he is safe on a bang-bang play. Safe at the plate. We're going to have a big argument between Jim Horner and the plate umpire. Dallas just got underneath the tag of the catcher, Chao Kwan Wu. The pitcher covered. Renz beat the throw by the catcher. The Timber Rattlers got a big break when the ball ricocheted off the net, came back towards the plate. Wu picked it up, threw to the pitcher covering. Renz just got beneath the tag, apparently, of the pitcher, Joe Warman. And now it's a 1-run lead for the Timber Rattlers. Renz scores an unearned run on a wild pitch. The tying run, Travis Schlichting advances to third. And now a base hit by Dallas Morris would tie the game. Oh, that was a close play at the plate. But Jordan Renz slid feet first underneath the tag of the pitcher, Joe Warman. Out came Jim Horner, the first-year skipper of the Timber Rattlers, to argue with the plate umpire. From the stretch, the 1-1 to Dallas. Loop down the line and right. If it falls fair, foul ball, foul ball. And Dallas Morris narrowly missed tying this game as he hit one off the end of the bat and dumped it down the right field line, foul by about 8 feet. Whew, boy, has this become a barn burner on this cloudy, overcast, cool Friday afternoon. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dallas Morris. Tying run at third, 2 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-5 Timber Rattlers. The Kernels have now out-hit Wisconsin, 8-7. The 1-2 to Morris. Low in the dirt for a ball. Dallas spreading his stance out, choking the bat up a bit, trying to make sure that he at least puts the ball in play. Schlichting at third as the tying run. 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Joe Warman comes set. Now time is called by Dallas Morris. Now the right-hander comes set at the belt and pitches. High and away, ball 3 to Dallas. The right-hander is ready to go now. Edgar Guaramato, Guaramato. He's ready. The game's biggest pitch is headed home to the Colonel third baseman. A looper into center is a base hit, and the Colonels have tied the game here in the 8th inning. Wow, Dallas Morris comes through as he dumps a single in front of a beleaguered Mike Saunders in center field to tie the game. 6-6 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Schlichting scores. Dallas Morris, as we told you, widened his stance, choked up on the bat, shortened his stroke, and he looped a base hit on a 3-2 pitch into center field in front of Mike Saunders to drive home Travis Schlichting and tie this game remarkably at 6-6. The Kernels at one point trailed 6-1. But now we're all even, and Warner Madrigal's at the plate. Could he come up with something big? Ooh, he backs out of the way of a curveball low, ball 1. An error and a wild pitch have really hurt the Timber Rattlers here in this inning. And the Kernels have the go-ahead run at first with 2 out. Dallas Morris draws a throw. Wild throw into the Colonel bullpen. Dallas is racing around second. He's going to try for third, and he is safe standing up. Wild throw. Dallas Morris makes it all the way to third on a throwing error by the pitcher, Joe Warman, who's kind of unraveled here in the 8th inning. Warman gets a pat from his shortstop, Robbie Hudson, but now here comes the pitching coach who we talked about earlier, stepping in for Lance Painter, Oliver Arias. Oliver Arias gathers his infielders around the rubber, and he'll try to see if he can get one more out from Joe Warman. I'm not sure why Wisconsin has Edgar Guaramato still warming up in their bullpen if they're not going to bring him in. Perhaps they only use him when they have a lead in the game, but they had a lead earlier of 2 runs and then 1 run, and they did not bring in the guy who I think is their closer. Well, now the Kernels have the go-ahead run at third with 2 outs. Madrigal, a high drive to left. It'll be caught to end the inning. Casey Craig is there and has it. Madrigal flies to left. The Kernels come up with 2 runs in the 8th inning on 2 hits. 2 big Wisconsin errors and a big wild pitch. The Kernels leave a runner and have stranded 5. Well, it is a brand new ball game as Tim Madison will take over on the hill for the Kernels. We go to the top of the ninth inning. Wisconsin 6, the Kernels 6. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan Smith, take Giuseppe Florentino? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared to Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you zero. Come to Zio Giano's for il Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
More of what you're looking for. Just yourself.
Our fine sponsor of the attendance guests has Ahern Plumbing and Heating. We have I believe our second biggest crowd of the season. Luvita Hill, what is the attendance this afternoon?
Well, John, it's 2,251.
And I would say about 50% of them are kids, girls and boys who enjoyed the Kernel Rally.
Yeah, it looks like that, John.
They are really jazzed up about the Kernels coming back from a 6-1 deficit with 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, and 2 in the lower half of the 8th. And we have a U.S. Cellular call. Here's a line drive into the right center field gap, and it'll be extra bases. It one hops the 390 mark, and rounding second and trying for a triple is Casey Craig, and he makes it. A leadoff triple for Casey Craig. That really takes the wind out of the Kernel sails. Right-hander Tim Madison was greeted very, very rudely as Casey Craig has the leadoff triple, even though the Kernels were playing very deep to try to prevent an extra base hit. Craig drove it to the base of the 390 mark, and he's at third with nobody out. The Kernel infield in for the play at the plate. Tim Madison has answered a U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. A breaking pitch in the dirt, ball one to Jairo Hernandez. Well, Tim Madison has his work cut out for him. The go-ahead run here in the top of the ninth inning at third with nobody out. Tim Madison, 1-1 this year, 2 saves, and a 2.13 earned run average. Casey Craig lit into his first pitch and hammered it into the right center field gap for a leadoff triple. Now a fastball from Tim is low and outside. 2-0. Tim is from the University of Southern Florida in Tampa. 24-year-old. Or check that, 23 years old. Hernandez swings late on the 2-0 pitch and pops it foul onto the Papa John's Plaza bleachers down the right field line. 6-6 the score, top of the ninth, but the Timber Rattlers have the go-ahead run at third with nobody out, and the infield in for the Kernels for the play at the plate. Tim Madison comes set at the letters. Curve, and that one is fouled between the legs of catcher Flint Whipke. 2-2. Tim Madison fell behind 2-0. Now the right-handed batter, Jairo Hernandez, widens his stance, and he chokes up on the bat a bit. A tap over the hill, and the go-ahead run scores. It sneaks through the middle, and going to second, Hernandez, he'll make it on what will be ruled a double. There's no way you can charge an error to Marco Albano. The Kernels went all or nothing. They were trying desperately to stop that ball and prevent the go-ahead run from scoring, but Casey Craig dashes across the plate on a tap just over the head of Tim Madison. If Tim would have been an inch taller, he'd have had it and thrown home, but it eked over his glove, and then it died between the mound and second. Marco Albano flashed across the back of the mound. He tried to bare-handed to throw home. He couldn't. It then rolled into center field for an RBI double. So Wisconsin regains the lead here in the ninth inning, 7-6, and it didn't take long for Wisconsin to strike for that run. A leadoff triple by Casey Craig, who had a triple and a double last night, and then a double on a soft bouncer over the hill that snuck by all three Kernel fielders, Madison the pitcher, Albano the second baseman, and Stacia the shortstop. Now Chow Kwan Woo, a left-handed hitter, bunts, and he bunts twice at the foul ball. The ball hit his bat twice for a strike. 7-6 Timber Rattlers here in the top of the ninth inning. After the Kernels fought so hard to score 2 in the seventh and 2 in the eighth, Wisconsin has put a needle in the Kernel balloon and taken a little bit of air out of it. Now Tim Madison will try to keep the Timber Rattlers from taking a bigger lead. They only lead it by a run, 7-6. Dallas Morris is facing the pitcher in on the edge of the grass at third as Wu squares to bunt. A curve, and it's bunted foul to the on-deck hitter. Strike 2. That was not a good bunt attempt by the catcher, Chow Kwan Woo, and he grimaced and looked towards the heavens as he knew that he could do better. Timber Rattlers have burgundy numbers on the back of their gray road uniforms. They wear black socks, black batting helmets. The Kernels in their navy blue caps with bright red bills. Curve, and that one's bounced to second. The runner advances to third. Marco Albano gathers it in and throws out Wu, but what a great at-bat for Chow Kwan Woo. He got the runner from second to third, and he'll be greeted with a lot of gusto in that Wisconsin third base dugout because he did his job. He sacrificed himself, so to speak, hitting the ball to the right side of the Timber Rattler infield. Infield in for the play at the plate as Robbie Hudson bats. This is the kind of situation where Hudson usually just kills you. A curve is low. He's such a tough out. Oh, he may be only 6 feet 170, but this guy can play baseball. Robbie Hudson from the University of Texas. Kernel infield in for the play at the plate. A ground at a third, knocked down by Dallas Morris. A run scores. Dallas throws Hudson out, 2 away, and Wisconsin has a 2-run lead. Robbie Hudson hit it sharply. It took a tough in-between hop. Dallas Morris did well to keep it in front of him, knock it down with his chest. Robbie Hudson did what we thought he'd do. He got the runner home from third to make it 8-6 Timber Rattlers. And now, with the bases empty and 2 out, Jeffrey Dominguez takes a strike called. Well, the Kernels erased a 6-1 lead earlier today. They'll have to see if they can wipe out a 2-run lead for the Timber Rattlers here in the ninth inning. Dominguez, a switch hitter, fouls one away to the left, strike 2. The hits are even at 9 apiece. We're in the top of the ninth inning. Wisconsin leads the Kernels 8-6. There's a changeup outside. Ball 1 to the switch hitter. Tim Madison winds and delivers. A chopper to the right of the hill. Madison pops off the mound and can't come up with it cleanly. That's an error on the Kernel pitcher. Tim looked at the runner instead of the ball, and that error by the Kernels is their second of the day. Yeah, Levita, I heard your reaction. You feel like just saying, oh, not because we're upset at Tim Madison. It's just that that's one he could have fielded cleanly.
Yes, it is, John. Yes, it is.
It just went up under his glove, and you can't blame Tim. He took his eye off of it to look at the runner and forgot to look the ball into his mitt, so that's a 2-out error committed by the Colonel pitcher, who fires high and away, ball 1, to Luis Valbuena. So Jeffrey Dominguez reaches on an error committed by the Colonel hurler. Those kids down below haven't given up, and so neither have we. They're still chanting, "Let's go, Kernels, let's go." That's a lot of spirit. The Kernels rallied for 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th to tie this game. Throw the first runner out! Oh, what a beautiful pickoff by Tim Madison of Jeffrey Dominguez. The caught stealing goes, pitcher to first, 1-3. In the 9th, 2 runs for Wisconsin on 2 extra base hits. There was 1 Colonel error, and the Timber Rattlers leave the bases empty. Here we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Wisconsin leads it 8-6. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
With spring comes a sound we're all familiar with, lawnmowers. The Solid Waste and Recycling Department encourages you to mulch your grass this year, though instead of bag. It's a practice known as grass cycling. Why grass cycling? Well, it saves time because you don't have to rake or bag your grass clippings. But it also saves money because those clippings contain essential nutrients, reducing your need for expensive fertilizers. Best of all, grass cycling helps to save landfill space. Do your part. Grass cycle. This message from the Solid Waste and Recycling Department.
We go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and right-hander Edgar Guaramato will try to save this one for Joe Warman. Warman went 2 innings, surrendered 2 runs on 3 hits. Joe struck out 2, walked none, and he threw a wild pitch. Edgar Guaramato is 1-0 this year with 3 saves, an ERA of 0.84. In 10 2/3 innings, Guaramato is allowed 5 hits in 10 2/3. He struck out 10 but walked 8. Here we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, 8-6 Wisconsin. Timber Rattlers scored 5 in the 5th to take a 6-1 lead. But the Kernels came back. A Madrigal home run in the 5th made it 6-2. A Dallas Morris 2-run blast in the 7th cut the Wisconsin lead to 6-4. And an error, wild pitch, Travis Schlichting double, and Dallas Morris run-scoring single in the 8th tied the game. But then Wisconsin broke loose for 2 in the top of this 9th inning. Edgar Guaramato is a 21-year-old right-hander from Venezuela, and he misses low, ball 1 to Marco Albano. 8-6 Timber Rattlers. Marco takes a fastball for a strike. Guaramato has a very unusual motion, or arm angle. He extends his arm fully, almost like he locks his elbow out, and then slings the ball homeward. A curve is a strike called. 1-2 to Marco Albano. Guaramato is trying to save it for Joe Warman. The 1-2 to the Colonel number 9 hitter. Popped foul. There may be a play near the Papa John's Plaza for Brian Sabatella. No, it's beyond his reach, and Marco Albano stays alive. The 2,251 here this afternoon are having a blast. I want to say hello to my good friend Mike Tracy. Swing and a miss by Albano on a fastball. Mike Tracy's here this afternoon with a big group of his clients from Ameriprise Financial. In fact, let me lean out the window here and see if anybody from Mike Tracy's group can give me a wave. I know they're all tucked inside on this chilly Friday, but I'm going to lean out the window and see if anybody from Mike Tracy's group. Here's a bunt attempt by Kuhn, and he fouls it off to the left. Well, it looks like most of Mike Tracy's group is inside the splendor and comfort and warmth of the Diamond Suite. But I'm sure Mike is tuned in with his group from Ameriprise Financial. Welcome to Mike Tracy. The 0-1 to Brad is a check swing roller towards the Wisconsin third base dugout. This game was tied as we went to the top of this ninth inning, but Wisconsin used a triple and a double to score a pair. And now the catcher, Wu, goes out halfway to the mound to talk it over with Edgar Guaramato. 8-6 in favor of Wisconsin here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Kuhn will try to come out of this 0-2 hole. Ground ball hit sharply on one hop, stabbed by Sabatella, and he steps on the base for the second out of the inning. Oh, did Brian Sabatella make a very fine fielding play on a hard-hit smash right at his feet by Brad Kuhn. 2 gone here in the ninth inning. This game started at noon exactly. So it's only 2 hours and 33 minutes in length. And the Kernels still looking to put a man aboard to bring the tying run to the plate. Here in this bottom of the ninth, the strike is called to Heinle Stacia. Heinle, a switch hitter batting left, takes low and away. The Kernels need a base runner to have a chance. Guaramato comes set. Stacia grounds one to second. That should do it. Up with it is Valbuena on to first, and Wisconsin is even this series at a game apiece. Heinle Stacia grounds out to second. A game played in a brisk 2 hours and 34 minutes, and the Timber Rattlers have beaten the Kernels for the first time this year, and even the series at a game apiece. In the ninth inning, Edgar Guaramato retires the Kernels in order, and Wisconsin wins it 8-6 here this afternoon. 8-6 Timber Rattlers. Our Colonel Curtain call is coming up in just a few moments on this cloudy, cool Friday afternoon. 8-6 the final. Totals, highlights, and more next on the Colonel Curtain call here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
Time for the Colonel's Curtain Call.
Now with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonel, John Rogers.
And on this Friday afternoon, Wisconsin, with a 5-run fifth inning, looked to have the game under control until the Kernels scored a run in the bottom of the fifth, 2 in the seventh, 2 in the eighth to tie it. But the Timber Rattlers used a leadoff triple by Casey Craig to key a 2-run ninth inning, and they win it 8-6. The first victory for the Timber Rattlers in 5 games against our ball club, and it evens the series at a game apiece. Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. John Rogers alongside his broadcast assistant Luvita Hill, and this game pitted a pair of lefties, Kelly Shear for the Kernels and Paul Fagan for the Timber Rattlers. Neither figured in the final decision. A rematch of a pitching duel on April 13th in Appleton that saw the Kernels beat the Timber Rattlers 7-2. Wisconsin broke out ahead in this one in the third inning as Robbie Hudson, the number 9 hitter, drew a leadoff walk. The Kernels looked to having picked off at first, but the throw over at first was mishandled by Mark Trumbo. Hudson was awarded second base, stolen base rather. He went to third on a bunt single by Jeffrey Dominguez and then scored as Luis Valbuena hit into a double play. The Kernels tied it 1-1 in the bottom of the fourth inning, and it was a leadoff double by Heinle Stacia. Clint Whipke then singled Stacia over to third, and a sacrifice fly to deep right by Jordan Renz drove home Heinle, and we were tied 1-1. Wisconsin sent 8 men to the plate, and they scored 5 runs in the fifth inning. They took a 2-1 lead on a Luis Valbuena infield single with the bases loaded, and then with the bases remaining loaded, Mike Saunders delivered the key blow in the middle innings. He cleared the bases, a bases-loaded 3-run triple that made it 5-1 Wisconsin. Saunders scored on an overthrow at third on the Colonel relay, and he scored to make it 6-1, and it looked like Wisconsin may cruise home to an easy win. But not today. The Colonels fought back. A one-out home run by Warner Madrigal over the right field wall, his second home run in as many days, cut the Wisconsin lead to 6-2. Then in the seventh inning, Travis Schlichting singled off reliever off starter Paul Fagan. Dallas Morris followed with his first home run of the year, a 2-run blast over the left field wall onto the Randy Kehl-Hopkins Picnic Pavilion, and that made it 6-4 Timber Rattlers. And it also was the end of Paul Fagan's outing, and as he was lifted. In came Joe Warman. Warman worked a scoreless rest of the seventh inning, but then in the eighth, an error by Ron Garth at third allowed Jordan Renz to reach. Renz went all the way Renz went to third on a double by Travis Schlichting. With runners at second and third and 2 out, Jordan scored on a wild pitch charge to Joe Warman. It was a bang-bang play at the plate as Chow Kwan Woo hit the pitcher Warman covering in stride, and Jordan Renz just did slide underneath the tag of the pitcher to make it 6-5. Schlichting went to third on the wild pitch, and on a 3-2 pitch, Dallas Morris dumped a single into center, an RBI single to plate Schlichting and tie the game 6-6. In the ninth, however, Casey Craig greeted reliever Tim Madison with a triple on the first pitch from the Colonel right-hander into right center. The Colonel infield was forced in for the play at the plate. Jairo Hernandez on a 2-strike pitch chopped one just over the head of Tim Madison, and a barehanded try behind the mound by Marco Albano, and the ball skipped off Marco's bare hand into center for an RBI double. Craig scored to make it 7-6. Jairo Hernandez went to third on a ground ball out by Wu to second, and then Robbie Hudson grounded a ball off of Dallas Morris's chest for an RBI ground out, and that drove in Hernandez to make it 8-6 Wisconsin. In the bottom of the ninth, Edgar Guaramato came on and retired the side in order to preserve the Wisconsin win. 8 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors committed by the Timber Rattlers. They only left 3 men aboard. The Kernels scored 6 runs on 9 hits, made 2 errors, and stranded 5. The winning pitcher out of the Timber Rattler bullpen is Joe Warman, his first win of the year. He's 1-2. A save goes to right-hander Edgar Guaramato, his fourth. Tim Madison took the loss. Tim is now 1-2. The game only took 2 hours and 34 minutes, and 2,251 were here on this Friday afternoon to see Wisconsin turn back the Kernels 8-6. We'll be back in a moment and enjoy our PRC play of the game here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one.
Do you, Susan Sweet, take Giuseppe Florentino?
You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared to Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you zero. Come to Zio Giano's for il Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium on this cloudy, cool Friday afternoon. The Kernels battled back from a 6-1 deficit to tie the game in the late going, but Wisconsin used a pair of extra base hits to win it in the top of the ninth, 8-6. PRC added another $50 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign this afternoon. Warner Madrigal touched one off. Dallas Morris belted a 2-run homer. And for every Colonel home run belted this season, PRC, the former Access Direct here in Cedar Rapids, donates $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. And PRC is now, with 13 Colonel home runs, donated $325 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. We thank PRC for that kind and caring campaign. Now PRC steps to the plate and brings us the PRC play of the game. If you're looking for a career opportunity with a company with a great heart, check PRC out on their website, www.prcnet.com. PRC's benefit package are called Life Essentials, or is called Life Essentials. It includes a 401k retirement savings plan, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, and a competitive pay scale with flexible hours. The Kernels trailed in this game 6-5 with 2 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Travis Schlichting was at third. The count was full to Dallas Morris. Let's enjoy our PRC play of the game.
Is headed home to the Colonel third baseman. A looper into center is a base hit, and the Colonels have tied the game here in the 8th inning. Wow, Dallas Morris comes through as he dumps a single in front of a beleaguered Mike Saunders in center field to tie the game. 6-6 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Schlichting scores. Dallas Morris, as we told you, widened his stance, choked up on the bat, shortened his stroke, and he looped a base hit on a 3-2 pitch into center field in front of Mike Saunders to drive home Travis Schlichting and tie this game remarkably at 6-6.
And that's why we chose Dallas Morris's clutch 2-out, 2-strike single to tie the game. Dallas also, as I said, had a 2-run homer to make it 6-4 Wisconsin in the 7th. He tied it in the 8th, but Wisconsin snuck a couple of runs home in the top of the 9th and whipped the Kernels today 8-6. That's our PRC play of the game. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll set all the action for you this evening. A look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard comes next here on the Kernel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirly Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Centerpoint in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and by Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
John Rogers back with you here on the Colonel Curtain Call, and it's time now, thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Gary Shubat to take a look at what's ahead this evening on the State Farm Major League Scoreboard, and broadcast assistant Luvita Hill will set the slate.
Well, we have the Orioles and Red Sox at Fenway Park. We have our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, against the Blue Jays at Rogers Center. We have the Yankees and Rangers at Ameriquest Field, the Tigers and Twins at the Metrodomes, the Royals and the White Sox at UL Cellular Field, Indians and Mariners at Safeco Field, and Devil Rays and A's at the Coliseum.
And the National League.
We have the Pirates and Nationals at RFK Stadium, the Giants and Phillies at Citizens Bank Park, the Braves and Mets at Shea Stadium, the Cardinals and Marlins at Dolphin Stadium, the Astros and Rockies at Coors Field, the Reds and Diamondbacks at Chase Ballpark in Phoenix, the Cubs and Padres at Petco Park, and the Brewers and Dodgers at Dodger Stadium.
Luvita, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for setting the State Farm Major League Scoreboard for us. All that action tonight, as Luvita said, and the State Farm Major League Scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Brad Dunn, and Gary Shubat. Well, Wisconsin has avenged a series opening loss to the Kernels last night, and they failed to protect a 6-2 lead. The Kernels tied it in the 8th, 7th with 2 runs, 2 in the 8th to tie it, but the Timber Rattlers scored a pair in the top of the 9th, and they win it 8-6. The Kernel record now in the first half back to an even 500, 14-14. Wisconsin ups their record to 13-15. Tomorrow afternoon we'll have Game 3 of this 4-game series, the 7th game of the 8-game homestand. The homestand record now 4-2. 4:40 will greet you here in the zone with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. 4:40. Thanks so much for being with us this afternoon. The final again, 8-6 Wisconsin. For Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, I'm John Rogers, wishing you a great rest of your Friday afternoon and a wonderful start to your weekend. This has been Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.